SMTN.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network Link 387. I'm your host, Spencer Presley, here without my Game Award 2025 statue. In case you weren't aware, I was not nominated and did not win, but my disappointment is still there. Thanks for nothing, Jeff. We'll try again next year. But at least I didn't lose to a peanut, so I guess that is that. But hey, speaking of someone who's not a peanut, I'm joined by special guest, also up for Content Creator of the Year 2026. Liam Omega is back. Liam, how's it going?
I'm good. Unfortunately, I also lost Content Creator of the Year, but somehow I lost to Expedition 33. So it happened.
We needed we needed like the Sifu nomination for Expedition 33, where like we really needed like Expedition 33 to get nominated for an award that it just really didn't need to be in for, like best multiplayer or something, or like something really insulting.
Like what? Best esports.
Yeah. Best esports announcer goes to SKA. We'll get him for we'll get him for like best backup. But yes, everybody, gird your loins if you, because I know there's a lot of sensitive people out there, especially after the last week. If you are someone, and I found out they've really been coming out of the woodworks. Last year's the sacrificial game was you better not have been a fan of Balatro. This year, apparently, God forbid you be a fan of Expedition 33.
Well, last year was also I would also throw Astrobot on there.
That's true, although Astrobot, I'm not gonna lie, that literally feels like a game that like came out 5 years ago already. Like, it's so funny to think that was like last year. Like, it actually hit me when the studio director was giving the award. I was like, oh my god, that was last year. Like, my brain like does not.
Yeah, it's gonna feel like forever.
My brain feels like last year was a lifetime ago.
Meanwhile, we have in 2026 we have the primaries coming up, and somehow Expedition 33 will win those as well.
Yeah, what we need is for the next year, since they always have the tradition of having last year's winner announce the year's Game Award winner, what they need is then to still have everyone from Sandfall still come back up on stage, like all 33 voice actors, come back on stage still wearing the baguette costume, and then announce the winner.
Since John Cena is retired now, we can retire the Cena wins LOL meme and replace the Expedition 33 wins.
Dang. LOL. I forgot about that. I feel really like big.
Crazy, right?
But let's get in here. Before we start going over the Expedition Glaze Awards 2025, we do have a bit of news, because even though Atlas and everyone out there wanted to pretend Persona 6 was going to be announced this week for some god knows reason, we do T-Bit news. I guess like 2.5, because one of them is a mobile one, and I normally don't announce like the collab updates, but this one was kind of funny. Out of nowhere, and this one's like a double header, like literally out of nowhere. Although I guess it is like the 20th anniversary, or actually it might even be like 20 or 25, but 25 probably makes more sense. Demi Kids is coming back in the year of our Lord 2025 with a collab for Metabots, the mobile game Metabots S. Now, I know Metabots was kind of a thing here in the States. Like, it tried for a little bit, but it died pretty quickly. Liam, do you have any familiarity with Metabots?
Zero.
Okay, then you are the majority of our audience.
Is this a Facebook thing?
No. Thankfully, no. It's MEDA. But Metabots was in that era of like everyone trying to have the next Pokemon or the next kind of like big collectible thing, or just like IP farm in general. Metabot was fine, but I would say it was up there with like the duel masters of things. Like the people who were into it are really into it. It's still been a thing in Japan after all these years. But what was funny about this collab, not only the fact that it was something Metabots related, was this was a Japanese only collab coming to a game that we don't have for Demi Kids. And what's cool is there's actually like new art of some of the demons, even like Jack Frost and some of the the protagonists and other characters from the games, or specifically the anime. But the anime was very tied into the games for Demi Kids back in the day. But what's funny about this is then shortly after this announcement, everyone was all bummed because it was like, oh, well, it's cool to see Demi Kids, but it's a game that we can't play. Metabots S did actually get announced as coming out in the West in 2026. I doubt we will see this Demi Kids collab in the West. I'd love to be proven wrong, or I also have no idea how long or if this game will be successful because mobile games are such a dime a dozen these days. But it was such a weird announcement that I
True.
had to give it a bit of a heads up, even though at this point with it, I'm sure most people forgot because it was like 2 weeks ago. We talked about this whenever you were on last month about the show. We were talking about merchandise ideas.
Yep.
Now, hilariously, we actually know. I I want to say not all of it because they've been kind of vague about how they posted it, but Atlas basically was like, "Hey, whether you're gonna make it to the concert or not, you can buy the merch for the concert ahead of time or some of it." And they were like, here's some items, and they put out three different pens. Oh, sorry, two pens, three different acrylic keychains,
Hmm.
and then we've got a T-shirt, a windbreaker, a hoodie, and now a bag. I'd somehow missed the bag and the hoodie getting added, but I was wanting to get a quick rundown for you because obviously we were curious about last time, like what merch is going to be there, what designs they're going to use, and obviously they are still using the LA design. But what I was kind of surprised about is like we have some exclusive merch in terms of like the button, or I guess even the acrylics as well. But general vibe check. Did you pre-order any merch? Are you taking your chances like me and gonna try and pick it up when you get to LA? Do we hate it? Do we love it? What are your thoughts on them?
I'm gonna try and pick up the. I want to try and pick up the shirt, the new shirt that got added. Because I think it looks really good, and God forbid, maybe the hoodie as well. Also, I'm pretty
So
sure
the
because like I'm pretty sure the hoodie was added after we recorded our episode, and I'm almost certain one of us said like, oh, maybe they'll do a hoodie, like most concerts. So I don't know about you, but I think Atlas owes us some royalties.
that is true. We did come up with a hoodie. So the hoodie, I like the design of in terms of the back. It does the cardinal sin for me. Well, two cardinal sins. One, it's a pullover. All hoodies should be zip up hoodies. I don't care what you are, who you say.
Yeah.
The front design is very boring. Just having the Persona Live 2025 Awakening. That being said, because I don't think it's used anywhere else. No, it's not. The design on the back of the hoodie with everyone's signatures, like the band, the singers, and everything like that, I thought that's a super cool touch. I thought that was like a really, really nice
Yeah.
thing with it that might make me want it just for the design. Hoodie be damned. Or I guess zipper be damned. Now, here's the other one I was thinking about because I've never owned one before, and I'm what you might call the opposite of a savant, so probably an idiot. I have never owned a windbreaker, and I looked at that windbreaker and I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want this thing, even though I don't know what a windbreaker is used for. It just looks like a less heavy hoodie to me.
I couldn't tell you either. What a windbreaker is. It feels like a to me. It just feels like a fancier raincoat.
Oh, sorry, I was muted still. But I don't know. I have held windbreakers before. I don't know what it is. It's something about this one. The black and white design is speaking to me. But the T-shirt, I'm most likely gonna get. Ironically, I like them putting out the chance to buy merch ahead of the concert.
Hmm.
I think because everything was so last minute, the last thing I'm going to do to justify to myself is like, oh, damn, bro, I got to buy this $40 t shirt now. Like, I feel like concert
That's the concert
logic
experience.
is like, yes, is like concert logic. You show me a $40 shirt online, I'm going to say, fuck that, man. I ain't going to pay $40 for a t shirt. You have me waiting in line for a concert t shirt and pay $40? You got me. I'm suckered in. Reel
Or
me in.
$40
So,
T-shirt, $12 beer. That's the concert
yeah.
experience.
So I, unless like something really really crazy happens, I don't think I would like lose any sleep if I didn't get any of these items. Uh, that being said, I could also see them adding some other ones because I was talking about it with a friend of mine who's going and it was like I just can't imagine they're not gonna do a light stick. Like obviously I don't know who would want to buy a light stick for a concert who's not gonna go there, so they probably won't put that online.
True.
But like I would be very shocked if these 7 items are the only items they have for sale.
I mean, that's it. It's still a pretty good. It's still a good roster of items.
Yeah, no, it's definitely better than nothing, and it is also definitely better than just doing like black T-shirt with basic logo on the front with it. So
And again, also
I
like this
I've
is
got
since this is their first like major U.S. concert. I feel like this is still them just like testing the waters.
yes. And what's kind of interesting, and they did but note this out there, which did help me feel better about not buying it online, is that the online quantities are limited and have been selling out, but also getting restocked as they've been up on the Shop Atlas website.
Hmm.
Um, but what's been nice is on top of them getting restocked online, they will be fully available at the venue. So like, there's nothing that will be sold out there, which is cool.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, because it looks like the Windbreaker was the only thing that didn't sell out. The T-shirt had sold out, and the pin had sold out. The acrylics had not sold out, and then they added in the hoodie and the tote in early, yeah, December 4th with
Like a
it.
couple weeks
So
ago, yeah, or last week.
yeah. So yeah, are you planning on buying some merch? People, let us know in the comments, even if you're not going to the concert. Do you wanna be that fake fan who bought the concert shirt and didn't go? I think there's like I forget like who started it, but I know there's like a funny like fake fan, not taboo, but like a bad look of like buying concert shirts for concerts you didn't go to, which I just find so funny because it's like you're not buying I mean, I don't know. Like for me, I'm not buying a concert shirt to be like, look, it's the concert I went to. Like that's part of it, but another one is just being like, oh, cool, I like this band. I want to have a shirt with the band on it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
But speaking of things that we like and usually has a lot of good music, not the sound mixing though. Let's talk about the Game Awards. Game Awards 2025 was happening. I figured to make it easier, we will talk about the awards first because all
That'll be
jokes
quick.
aside, yes, it definitely was the Expedition Awards. They won 9. It was 9, right?
9 out of
9 of the
yeah,
13.
9, 12, I believe, or 11,
So,
because they lost
re-
Player's Choice. Well, I'm getting ahead, but they lost Player's Choice and audio design, and I
now
and I think that makes 11.
we can talk about Player's Choice real quick because I thought that one was really really funny. Do you have any thoughts on the whole Wuthering Waves Player Choice thing? Because I feel like in past years it's been a bigger deal. Because I think Black Myth Woo. No, they may have even lost last year. I'll have to look up what the 2024 Player's Choice one was, but I
I
feel
think
like
it's been gotcha like every year for the past like 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
yeah, because like it's just kind of an open secret that yeah, like Player's Choice is just a means for these game companies to kind of bribe their audiences to give them some free press, you know?
Yeah, and by game
And
companies we mean gotcha companies.
yeah, ones who can afford the $1 million ad slot for the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So like for you, like how do you feel about that? Because it is one of those things of like, well, it is completely fan voted, which I appreciate, but then also at the same time does kind of show the need for having judges, even though I do generally say it can vary year to year. Like every time there's Game Award, like winners or nominees, there's always like someone scratching their head for something, like whether it be this year with no Sonic or last year and even this year with no NCAA. Like there's always weird stuff, but like when you see like winners, like it being Wuthering Waves, it's not like, oh, like, oh, it's not like, oh, okay, we're not saying Wuthering Waves is a bad game. It's like, but if you looked at everything that came out in the year 2025, no one's going to say, oh, you know what the best game was? It was definitely Wuthering Waves. Now,
Yeah.
all right, so I did look this up. So Black Myth Wukong did win Player's Choice last year because
Oh, okay.
that was one of the big things where, similar to the gotcha thing, what was funny was what was funny was Black Myth Wukong. A large amount of people basically said Chinese bots were the reason that won. But I mean, Black Myth Wukong is a very popular game, especially in Asia. But it was
Yeah.
just really funny. Of like, yeah, in most cases we've seen things like Genshin win, we've seen Honkai win in the past, and Wuthering Waves is no different. And what was even funnier was like the winner of Best Mobile Game, Umamasume. Did you see what what their handout was for winning like best mobile game this year was? It was very funny.
I did not. What was it?
So, just for comparison, Wuthering Waves gave away like a free 10 pull, which is like pretty generous, and like gave a bunch of like extras away. Like they had a whole full suite ready for people as soon as they won. Like it was all loaded in
Right.
and ready to go. Umamasume, which I would at least say I felt like was a slam dunk for winning the whole time. They won, and their thing was just, oh great, every player gets 1 5 star. Could be anyone, just any random 5 star. Be like, here you go.
Oh.
Here's a five. Oh, you don't get a pick though, but you just get a random 5 star. And it was like, that's very random, but also it's like Umamasue is one of those things of like, there's a reason it won. Like that game is still so popular, and like and I've been talking about it since it came out because P5X was also nominated this year. But I was like, even I feel like the only reason P5X got nominated this year for best mobile game is because the people who vote, it's one of the 5 games they could remember that came out for mobile this year. It's like Atlas
Yeah.
doesn't really advertise it very much. It's not a game that it gets is brought up in discussion almost at all. And like even when it does, it's only when they do something crazy like, oh my god, like there's the P3 collab or the Miku collab. And
Right.
it was like, yeah, it was like I was honestly shocked they sent anyone to the Game Awards. There was like one picture of one of the producers there, and it was just one of those things of like, yeah, like realistically, at least for me, like I felt like it was always going to be Umamasume's game to win, and if even if they lost, I don't think P5X was very closely there. And I
Right.
hadn't even seen much of a discussion with it there. I just thought it was so funny of like, if you had told me a year ago, like Horse Girl Racing or a new Persona game. It's just so funny that I'm like, oh no no, clearly the horse racing game is gonna kick that game's ass.
Right. I guess we can't expect to hear any P5X music at the Persona concert.
Oh no, I bet we will see that 100% because they did that at the last one. So
Oh, did
I'm
they?
I'm ready to hear more P5X music than I want, even though I don't think any of it's bad. I feel at the very least a slam dunk bet is at the very least they're gonna play the opening, like the opening
Oh,
song.
all right,
Because
fair
I
enough.
mean, they even had Lynn sing it at Anime Expo this year.
Hmm. All right. Jokes on me, I guess.
But P5X still in a weird spot. I really want to get back to it, but like as winners, like it's been kind of nice that like we're slowing down on big game releases. Like I've enjoyed really just burning through my backlog of stuff this year still, and it's just like even when I was like really sick, which is why there wasn't a show last week, like I just like have had times on my phone where I'm like I've told myself, and I am gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I just don't know when, but like I'm gonna give P5X another shot because I want to get out of that first palace. But it is
Mm.
just so funny to me that I'm just like, man. it's just, and every time I ever see the game, and it's like, and I just have no, like, nothing about the game is like trying to speak to me, which is so weird because I feel like it's got like it should just be such a slam dunk for me.
Any reason why it's not?
There's a lot, and I mean I've talked about it over the last like 6 months or whatever of it being out.
Yeah.
P5X, the problem with it for me is it is trying to be a full-fledged RPG like Persona 5 while also trying to get its hooks in you and have gacha mechanics like most popular gacha games. And I think
Hmm.
it's trying to be a jack of all trades and mastering at none. Like there's a reason I know, like the reason people like it, I understand, and I think there are things about it that even I like when I play it, but the problem is it's that thing where it just it just has a hard time getting its hooks into you when there are just clearly better experiences I could be playing. Like
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
like
like even if P5X was on my PS5, I would still not be playing it that much. I don't even think it's a phone thing. I think it's also just the design of it in general.
it's kind of like how that kind of reminds me of how we kept trying to get like a new MMORPG off the ground when World of Warcraft would just demolish it every time.
Have you messed with have you messed much with P5X over the last 6 months?
I have not. Uh, I I tried installing it on my phone. I had to delete a bunch of storage to make room for it. And when I finally like loaded it up, I just realized actually I have no interest in this. So I basically deleted a bunch of stuff for nothing. And I guess I'm still waiting for. Honestly, the thing I'm waiting for is for us to get online tycoon. I don't know if they added that. If they've added that, have they?
I know Tycoon is there. I just don't know if it's online. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, that was another one that interested me, but also I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Like, at least for you, like, do you see P5X pop up in your feed very much? Like, I feel like even people I know who play it, like, it's like I'll see people like share their 5 stars every now and then, but like even when new updates drop, I very rarely see people like sharing the new updates. But oh my god, the new update's coming, the new update's coming, because it's just like, oh yeah, we got a little more
Yeah.
story, or we
Not
got
ca-
we got a new 5 star.
I see a couple people. Sometimes I know a couple people who play it, and I sometimes see uh like bits and pieces of it, but nah, not super often.
The other interesting one will be like going and talking to people at the concert next month. I'll be so interested to be like just gauge people there, be like, all right, who's playing, like who's really playing P5X? I feel like that would be a good crowd of like, listen, if there was ever going to be a mass gathering of P5X players, it
Show of
would be
hands.
there.
Show of hands. Who
Yes.
here has played P5X or is consistently regularly playing P5X?
Yeah, like show us your bank accounts. We got to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, according to the website, Tycoon Season 1 started in English on November 26th, 2025.
Oh wow.
And you have to complete Chapter 1 to unlock it in the main story. Tycoon is a 4-player card game. You can do solo, ranked matches, and yeah. So yeah, online is there. You got ranked mode and solo play for
Then
Tycoon.
I guess I'll try hopping on again.
There you go, P5X. That's all you had to do.
That's
Just
really
add in
all
the
I.
best
That is
minigame.
literally all I wanted. That's literally all I wanted. You the rest of the rest of the gotcha stuff or like the palace stuff. You could keep all that. Just give me online tycoon. Hell,
Just
put it on. Just put it on the app store. Hell, charge 10-15 bucks. I'll buy it. I don't care.
I'm just thinking about the SpongeBob meme with the kids. It's like you make all these levels, all these palaces, and it's like, You can keep it. We'll
Yeah.
keep the card game. You're good.
Yeah. No, exactly.
But back into the Game Awards though. Let me pull up. I've got my the uncontroversial award
Yes.
announcements here. So
Totally uncontroversial. Can you believe nothing bad happened at the Game Award or after the Game Awards?
I mean,
Like no
listen,
slander
it's
at all?
yeah, world peace came. I heard the entire country of France has decided to double. They're just gonna take over Spain, call it France too.
Yeah. No, it's
But
great.
I will say, let me see here, because I mean, we might as well no, because I feel like I will like, oh well, I'll make it fast by talking about Expedition 33. That does not actually happen. Um, I did have some surprises
Yeah,
that
we
were
don't want to
there.
tempt that.
Number one, because I don't think I talked about this one very much with it. I don't even know if I would say it because I always have a funny one where like I think there are interesting discussions about Game of the Year or even just these categories when I think the clear winner is still Expedition 33 by most people's opinions, but
Hmm.
then I get hung up on nominees. Like I still think I don't like. I'm not sure if I would say Expedition 33 is my soundtrack of the year. I still want to mull on that a couple like bit longer because I am still stuck between a couple of different games. But like even other funny ones that get left out where I'm like, man, I was really surprised. Like there was no Mario Kart World like love at all for the soundtrack, and even other funny things where I'm like, I really genuinely thought like I was at least expecting maybe a little bit more love for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and a couple of different awards, or
Yeah.
even stuff like Silk Song and even Hades. It was so funny. Like both Hades and Silk Song only getting like one award was very surprising.
Do you remember what Jeff said when Silksong
No,
won their award?
see, you won something. So I didn't
Fuck off, Jeff
know.
Keighley.
Now I will say, so the reason he said that I don't feel like there was like any like ill content about that. Him saying "see you won something" I didn't realize was because the whole dev team of Silksong decided not to go because they just were like, oh well, Expedition's clearly going to win everything, so that's why we're not going to go. And so I that was the reason for his
Hmm.
comment was like, see, you guys did win something. Like
I
if
still
they
I
were
still wouldn't have
there,
said it.
I mean, listen. Would I have said I fucked Miss Piggy and Bora Bora? I also wouldn't have said that live on
Very
stage.
true.
But this show had many weird things. Would I have
Yeah.
brought Andrew Schultz on stage? No, I would not have brought Andrew Schultz on stage.
Good God, no.
So, all right, I will say this though, because I know there's a lot of Andrew Schultz hate, justifiably. I think we need to, as a society, come together and admit though that jab at Mortal Kombat was funny.
Yeah.
Like whether you like or hate Andrew Schultz,
The
we as a society need to come together and say that was like literally like straight out of like an Eric Andre show bit. Like that
heartbreaking.
was.
The worst heartbreaking. The worst person you know just made a really good point.
Now, did you see the like? I guess like the producer Mortal Kombat 2 like commented on that.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
It was like a nothing burger comment, but I just thought it was so funny that he was like, well, we don't have to take low shots like that. That I'm like, listen, dude, you should have just been like, listen, honestly, you could have just thrown the Game Awards under the bus and been like, well, we don't really want to go to that, or like they didn't ask us or anything like that. I just
Yeah.
thought that was like so funny of just being like, let's be honest. I don't have a lot of faith in the Street Fighter movie. I thought that look of it was interesting. There was something though someone said about the trailer that I can't get out of my brain after someone mentioned it, where someone was like, I know that Street Fighter trailer was real, but if you told me that I put an AI prompt into like Google VO or something and like say give me live action Street Fighter the movie, that does look like one of those fucking like AI videos.
No, AI would never come up with Cody Rhodes as Guile
Now, listen, that casting I'm all
on its
for.
own.
I cannot.
On its own.
I can. I cannot wait to fucking hear him as Guile. Like that, he was either going to sink or swim in that role because I have no idea of like of his like acting thing. Like I don't know. Like has Cody Rhodes done any acting, at least like that we know
He,
of?
I think he had a small part in Naked Gun this year. I haven't seen it yet. So I don't know how big his role was. I think it was just like a brief appearance. But otherwise, I don't believe he's done any other acting or on screen acting because, of course, in wrestling, there's a lot of acting involved, and he's been pretty good at that, even if he can be a bit melodramatic sometimes, crying
Oh yeah.
during every promo.
I will say, I forget where I'd heard it, but there was an interesting discussion about how there's still kind of that misconception that all wrestlers are bad actors, and I'm like, man, I could not disagree
No,
more.
come
Like
on, we can't.
I
We're done.
feel,
We're done. We're long past that.
yeah, like we are way past the era of The Rock being like the
The Tooth
only
Fairy.
actor you see in Hall. Yeah, but like I think of even stuff like I'm like, man, even like Batista's career alone is so good. But like
Oh yeah.
I'm such a Cena like I'm like such a Cena like sucker though, where I'm like you show anyone or at least like you show any person any episode of John Cena acting in Peacemaker, and I'm like, I don't know how you don't like just instantly go
No,
like,
he.
damn, that
I
dude
mean, it's not
crushes
just.
it.
I mean, it's not just like recent. I mean, not of course, not every uh wrestler has going into film has done like has hit a home run every time. But think back to the '80s. You had Roddy Piper in They Live.
Oh
Absolutely
yeah, no,
phenomenal
100%.
performance.
No,
Less said
I
about less
100%
said about
believe
Hulk
that.
Hogan's filmography, the better though.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah, we will not be going through his IMDb. There's a lot of stinkers in there. I'll just say that. And
Thunder in
when
Paradise, anyone?
when the worst film in your career is not the weird cuck form, the weird cuck porn that got released out there, that's how you really know you've got some stinkers on there.
Oh, there's a hilarious story behind that and how it involves Peter Thiel, but I won't I won't tell it here.
That's for the Patreon bonus show conspiracies,
Yeah.
everybody. So, um, other weird standout ones I wanted to bring. Did you have any horse in the race of best adaptation? Because I'm definitely one of those people
No.
that I was like, man, I do not think the list of nominees were good, but I also did not like Last of Us season 2 winning, and that comes from me as a huge Last of Us fan.
I I saw the nominations when they came out, and I was like, yeah, I don't care about this one, because out of all of them, do you have what were the other nominees? There was Last
It
of Us, Devil May
was
Cry, Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, which fucking what are we doing here? The Minecraft movie, and that was
Oh
it.
yeah, I mean, I'm partly surprised that Minecraft didn't take it, but at the same time, I'm also not surprised Last of Us 2 took it because it's apparently it's 2020 again, and Last of Us has to win everything
I don't know. It's like
until Expedition
that
33 came
lineup.
along.
That lineup is just like so rough because it's like it's a bad lineup, but also it was a bad season overall. But then the problem with The Last of Us season 2, without getting into it, is like it is not a thing that you can just say was a bad season. Because I forget if we talked about this. You did not watch The Last of Us live action, right?
No, I did.
So
We
did
we,
you
we talked
watch all
about
of
it.
season 2?
I did.
So like season 2 easily a way worse season than season 1, but
Absolutely.
has like the highs are so good that it cannot be understated. Like for all the Neil Druckmann haters out there, the best part about The Last of Us season 2 is that the best show without a doubt is the only episode he directed.
I mean, I like the second episode. I thought that one was really well done. Um, but
Episode two is probably up there as like the second or third best one for me as well. Because like honestly, you give me any more Jackson lore or just more Tommy in general, I'm
yeah,
all here for it. Like all the stuff that expands upon that like world that wasn't in the game, like that's when the show does some of the best stuff. Because when they're adapting the game,
yeah,
it feels like the show's being written by someone who listens to podcast at 2 times speed.
right. Yeah, I remember saying it on a in a previous episode we did, that um I think when they do these like adaptations, well, we're talking about The Last of Us specifically, but when they deviate from the game, that's when I think it's at its best. Case in point, the Bill and Frank episode in the first season.
Yeah, even the fact that like I would at least say I think the way that like going back to that one episode Neil did like the big flashback one, I think the way that they explained how Ellie found out about being lied to makes way more sense and is way better of a story than how the game did it. Like the whole thing with the therapist's husband and that whole incident, like I was like, oh, that's
Joey
so much
Pants.
better than being yeah, like with Joey P. Like, listen, you, I already didn't like that flashback of the game just because it was like, what do you mean we went all the way back to Colorado? Like, no, why
Yeah,
would you ever be like, all right, guys, I'm just gonna run away from home and go from fucking Wyoming all the way to Colorado just to prove a point? I'm like,
just got
no, just
I got to pick
just
up
have the
something.
conversation.
I'm gonna go pick up milk. I'll be right back.
What are we doing here? But that whole thing is such a complicated can of worms that I will still be there day one for season three. But holy shit, if that show, I mean, good point that it's not filming because man, I hope they learn a lot of lessons about season two because they really need to make a lot of changes. But hey,
Very
if
much.
somehow Abby has the best season out of that, I will be all here for it because that would be even funnier.
I think she might honestly.
Um, kind of a, I would say controversial one, but mostly just because I don't think it was a surprise who won, but I think there was a chance that Expedition could have lost it. I thought Jennifer English winning Best Performance. I was only surprised because like I know she has won in the past because I think what she
She
had
won the
won for
golden
Baldur's
joystick,
Gate.
and she also won
Well,
the
yeah,
golden
that's
joystick.
true. But I mean, like in years past, because I think I forget what's the name of her character from Baldur's Gate.
Shadowheart.
Like I think she had won also that year, or at least was nominated for Baldur's Gate. Of like, I really like Jennifer English, but like, I don't know what my gut was like one of two ways for who was gonna win Best Performance. I always knew, without a shadow of doubt, it was definitely not going to be. It was definitely not going to be Troy Baker or the girl from Silent Hill F, which is a big shame. But
Both were great.
both were great. I will say, I had a weird hunch because I was like, I could see the votes getting split so much that Erika Ishii wins just because the votes were split. But I think that just goes to show how strong the show up was. I mean, obviously, they had half the nominees in the category with Gustav, Verso, and Mael. But like, I
Yeah,
don't know why. Even out of those three, it may just be a personal bias with it of like, and I love everybody. Like, I love Charlie Cox, I love Ben, and I love Jennifer with it. Of like, I don't know why my gut was like telling me I was like, even with her winning the golden joystick, I was like, I just feel like I could see Ben winning it, and I was a
I
little
could too.
surprised that she took it here.
I'm not really as surprised because like I feel like it follows. It's kind of like award season in film. Like if one actor, because like the Oscars are pretty much always like last. So if you see an actor like pick up all the other statues for their performance, then chances are good they're going to take the Oscar as well.
So, do you want to guess what
Comparing the Game
my
Awards to the Oscars.
do you want to guess what my favorite part of Jennifer's speech was?
um, I want to guess the when she called or when she mentioned she gave a shout out to the neurodivergent people.
Yes. I did not watch the Game Awards live. I should put that out there. I watched it on a delay. when I got to that point in her speech where she gave a shout out to all the people, like all the neurodivergent people, and I immediately rushed because I laughed because I just knew the reception of the comments, and I was like, please tell me that the chat is gonna do exactly what I went into the chat, would just be like, did Jennifer English just call everyone watching the Game Awards autistic? Just all the comments of just like all the like things for in which, by the way, I saw nobody mad at her. All of it were just people laughing at how probably spot on she was with that comment. I'm just being like, listen, she's not wrong.
Well,
She's not wrong.
She also
She didn't
did
have to say that out loud.
She also did it at the Golden Joysticks. And I, from what I remember, there was a way harsher response there.
I no, I hadn't listened to her speech there. I'll have to check that out with it. But I thought that was totally fine. Although, hey,
Yeah.
because we are
Oh yeah, of course.
critiquing the awards, um, I love both the actors who were presenting best performance. Holy shit, that bit was so bad though.
Yeah.
Them just going on about being lying, and I'm like, man, how do you
I've
take two fantastic actors and just let them bomb for like 2 minutes straight?
ugh. Actors are not all actors are comedians.
Yeah, so one of the funny things about it, because um, I was listening to a podcast with one of the producers of the Game Awards. I was listening to the Easy Allies podcast because Kyle Bossman's always on immediately after the
Hmm.
show, and he works on the Game Awards. And it was funny of like he specifically pointed that out of like that was not a bit that the show wrote. Like that was something that like that team of presenters came up with. Like I was like that makes it even worse. Um. You know what? Here's a funny one I want to bring up with you because the only major Xbox award, I guess actually no, that's not true. Doom won accessibility as well, but their speech was in the
True.
pre-show and didn't really get too much time. I thought this was kind of funny and goes into another point about the show of there wasn't a lot of Xbox news because the only announcement was the announcement of the new Diablo expansion. And what was funny was, did you notice in the South of Midnight's acceptance speech, the only thing they really brought up in terms of news, like obviously they thanked the team and I thought their speech was very very good, and I'm excited about this news, but like the biggest announcement Microsoft had at the show was, all right, we won one award on the main show. How are we going to use it? Announcing our game is coming to PlayStation and Switch 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like,
I thought
ooh,
that I thought that was very
some
funny.
bad optics there. No one
Well,
saw the irony here?
I mean, they were. I feel like they also claim Expedition 33 as their own game as a because it was on Game Pass, still is on Game Pass. So I think it's like, I mean, we're kind of indestructible by this point. So
Oh yeah,
whatever,
it's
and we're trying
the
to expand.
the Xbox Doomer talk is always so funny because I think people get so hung up on the hardware of like, yeah, Xbox hardware has never been in a worse spot, but at the same time, Xbox as a publisher is fucking crushing it. Like, I didn't even realize, I totally forgot that Flight Simulator came to PlayStation this week. And how did I remember
Just
that
a
it came
T.
out? Just this week, came out on the 8th. And what was
Oh wow.
crazy about that wasn't the fact that I had forgot it came out. I was reminded it came out because I was looking at bestsellers. It was in the top 10 bestsellers for the PlayStation Store. And I was like, fucking really? I was like, all right. But yeah, the lack of Xbox there. I want to get your take on it. Obviously, as a Xbox owner as well, but also because
Hmm.
like I think the overall like Doomer thought on it was very weird because even Xbox came out the next day, and like did you notice like they had made the comments about like, hey, we're getting ready for our developer direct next month, so if you think we're dead, that's why.
Yeah. What do you? What thoughts do you want specifically?
I'm curious of like how do you think Xbox should be at the Game Awards because they've it's not like, oh well, we're always going to do developer direct so we won't be there because they did have announcements. We had Diablo there. We have seen them show up in ways big and small. Like, remember, like, they straight up revealed the Series X there. Like, what I want to
Mm.
say, 2019 or whatever year it was. Like, they've come in ways big and small to the Game Awards before. Because I think what's interesting is, like, the only company who I think most people can generally agree just doesn't really show up at all just because they don't have to is Nintendo. Like Nintendo,
No,
as soon as they stopped like having like Smash Brother character reveals there, like we have not had a big reveal at the Game Awards for a very
no.
very long time.
Nintendo has been doing their own thing uh, for so long, and I feel like I just feel like overall like things have changed a lot since, well, like you said, the since Microsoft announced the Series X in 2019, I think it was. Um, I mean, things a lot of things have changed, and now the big companies like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they just prefer to have all their or the majority of their announcements on their own shows, and I feel like now the not willingly, but they it feels like they just left all that unoccupied space at the Game Awards to publishers, um, just letting them do their thing and show off their games themselves. I mean, of course, they still show up occasionally, but um, I feel like they see the Game Awards uh, as something that exists more for game publishers' benefit rather than their own. Which, considering now how much Jeff is charging for just a trailer to appear at the Game Awards, is probably not a good thing. But if my theories add up, then it might make sense. But it's not exactly what I'd call best case scenario.
And it's also weird because it's like you look at something like, yeah, obviously they have a developer direct coming next month, so they're not going to show Gears, they're not going to show Halo, they're not going to show Fable. But it's like you also look at what we know is coming next year. We have all those games I just listed on top of Forza, on top of Call of Duty again, on top of other games that we don't even know about, and it's just kind of like like Xbox is kind of in the opposite problem where like they have more studios than they know what to do with in terms of giving them good space and marketing, that I feel like there's no excuse for them to not do both. There's no reason they can't show up at the Game Awards and still have 4 to 5 announcements to show off in January without them feeling cramped. So it's
No, of course,
it's a bad look in terms of obviously they have the studios and them working on games, but when your biggest kind of announcement is just a Diablo expansion, when I would say Diablo 4 still in a good spot but definitely not like the big game right now, where it's like you probably could have even had a bigger pop if it was something just like being like here is like even if it was like 30 seconds of just like here is like actual gameplay for Forza. Like something that's not going to blow the world on top, but like something that would make sense to be there, but not probably like ruin anything in terms of what you're showing off to people.
sure, sure.
But I mean, even with all that said, I always think it's funny because I also don't think Sony did a very good job of being at the show. I think their trailer for Saros was great, but at the same time, I don't know. And Sony is in a weird spot, especially with their multiplayer stuff. Of like, even though we knew about that studio ahead of time, even though it's not a first-party studio, but it is a Sony-funded game, that like new game by I forget the name of the guy, but it's the former Left 4 Dead guy working with Bad Robot. That Four
Right.
Loop game, I watched that and it was like it was kind of weird. Everyone's takeaway has been like, well, it doesn't look bad, but it's kind of like it's one of those things to just be like, man, like this team just can't seem to get a concept that everyone's into without like a butt next to it. Whether it
Right.
be like Evolve looks cool, but had really bad support and fan base died off really quick. Back for Blood, oh, perfect. It's just more Left for Dead. Oh, but you're overcomplicating it, and we don't like a lot of how the DLC practice works. And so even with this one, where it's like, okay, cooperative shooter, but also seems very reminiscent to something like a roguelike or like a Helldivers, to the point where it's like, okay, are we just making another one of these? So
Yeah.
it's it's sort of tough. It puts them in a weird spot. But again, they at least kind of had one win with it. I thought that trailer for Saros looks so good. The amount of good things. I mean, there. I know everyone glazes Returnal all the time, rightfully so. But like, it's just so cool to me to see like Housemarque getting a real ass budget for this game, showing it off. It looks cool. The music is really really fun, and it is just so funny. Of like, it is just more Returnal without it being Returnal, but it's like for something like that, I'm totally here for it, and I'm like, sure, why not? It was a short trailer. It's coming out kind of soon. The funny thing, I feel like a lot of people forgot. Did you notice that they actually delayed Saros?
Yeah, to April. Was
And
it?
it was one of those things where it's like that to me felt less like a oops we're delaying it because the game needs it and more of a oh thank God GTA is not coming out in May anymore. Okay, we can push it back. Like we like this is when we would have
Yeah.
wanted it to come out.
Speaking of most anticipated game,
That award
that's the most
is
meaningless
just
award to me. But
it's like
it's
sure.
literally it's literally they might as well rename it biggest marketing budget or best biggest slash best marketing budget.
No, I mean, ironically, I disagree with it only in the sense of I think the problem with most anticipated is in a world where GTA 6 is not out, there is no way it doesn't win, and nothing is more boring, I think, to a lot of people than a foregone conclusion for an award show. And I think that kind of gets into the big problem that a lot of people had this year with Expedition 33 winning so many awards was that whole thing of I am all here for Expedition winning every single one of those awards it won, but
I
me
am too.
and everyone watching it, it was one of those things of like, but when you know it's gonna win, like the only one that ironically I was like, I could see it going either way, but with all the awards, it just didn't make any sense. Where I'm like, I could see Expedition getting a lot of awards, but I wouldn't be shocked if somehow something else won Game of the Year. But like
Hmm.
after it had won 5+ awards. It's like, yeah, okay. If they were winning all of these other awards, there's no way it's not just gonna take it. That I almost feel bad for the show in the sense of like, and even the team of I want to give them their flowers rightfully so of like they made a great game. They made a
They made a
great debut
phenomenal game.
game. They made an awesome RPG. They told a great story. They had a great soundtrack. There was a great direction. Like I want each one of those team members to come up and give those speeches, but you've got to be real. I think what did we have what 4 or 5 on-stage speeches for this game at least?
At least.
So it's
You,
like it's one of those things where it's like okay, when it is so one-sided, it's kind of hard for it not to just seem like we're just giving thanks to this one game and not the whole industry. But it
did
is
you
a thing of
notice?
like,
Did you know? Sorry, did you notice that for the award for game direction, it was actually the art director who was giving that speech, and the actual game director Guillaume Bosch was just off to the side. It's like he knew. It's like he knew, or they knew, or like someone had told him. Probably not, but deep down he knew. It's like it's all right. Uh, we're probably definitely gonna win game of the year. So I'll do that speech. You can do this one.
no, I totally agree because what I also thought was funny was And these are all totally inconsequential of each other, but like optically, it was kind of hard not to notice. One of two things. Number one, it was so. I have never seen so many brand new games from Kepler in my life, and it is like, oh, so that's where all the publishing money for that Expedition 33 went. Like Kepler just eating up all these games. And I mean, hey, the stuff they announced looks really cool. Like, I think Kepler as a publisher, they don't always like knock it out of the park, but it's like, yeah, for them, they were probably fucking stoked that they ended up grabbing this.
They got
But
stonked.
the other one was the team dressing up. I think was very fun. I thought was cute. At the same time, if you are someone who sees that as disrespectful, I understand it, even
Oh
though I
hell
don't
no.
agree with it. Because it's one of those things where it's like, that's not the team dressing up because they know they're going to win every single award they're in. That's them dressing up. And by the way, I'm so glad during the Game of the Year speech that they brought this up because I
You
think,
mentioned yes.
it was such a rightfully deserved like shout out and flex that hey, there are no team members watching this from home. We brought everyone here. Like this was their
Yeah.
game. This was not one person's moment. This wasn't like, oh, we brought the director and the producer and they're going to go accept the stage. They're like, no, 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 no. Like I bet if they had it their way, they would fucking have had every single team member come up with every single award just to be there because it was
Like yeah, like they do at
them
the Oscars.
in yeah, like it's them in solid, like in them in solidarity with each other of like, hey, we did this, we fucking crushed it, and we want to get and like we want to like be in the moment with it of like I saw that and I still like look at that and I'm like I thought that was so fun. I thought like even the fucking dog being dressed up, I was like cherry on top, perfect, no notes.
No, it was incredible.
Um, what was another one I was gonna say with it? Cause I guess since we're already kind of talking about Expedition 33, because I'm at an interesting point with it of especially going back this week and playing it because of the thank you update
Yep.
of I have had so much fun with Expedition 33 this year. I really love it. I think the story is so great. And I don't know if it's because I still have a couple of big gaps in my Game of the Year list that I still haven't played that I haven't wanted to get there. I haven't like wanted to give it my goatee yet, even though we are so close to the end of the year. And it's like it's very funny of
Hmm.
like even though I'm not sure if it is my goatee, it is that thing though of like I still don't know how anyone could look at that game if you have at least played it and been like, oh, but it still deserves each and every one of those awards it won. Like there was no award that anyone was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, and again, no disrespect to it, but like a great example because I saw a lot of people be like, oh well, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a better RPG than Expedition 33, and even in that case, we're like, I totally get it. Like in terms of a deep, interesting RPG, KCD2 fucking crushes it.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same point, it's like, yeah, but they're trying to be two totally different games. Like it's not one winning over the other disregards it. It's just one of those things of, and we so rarely have years like this where this game just so rarely is ticking all those boxes that people like, whether it be like because I feel like we don't really get a lot of Oscar bait video games. Like you'll get it like I'd say like the last one we had, and I think rightfully so, was like the year when The Last of Us Part Two came out. Like that was like
Yeah.
if there was a goatee bait game, that's The Last of Us Two. But
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Expedition was funny because until it was out, I don't think anyone would have ever said, "Oh, well, this will clearly be a front runner for a game of the year." Like no one
I
would have
didn't.
guessed that. Nuh-uh.
I first heard about it at the first or this year's developer direct from Microsoft, which I think was in what, January or February, or like
Oh
earlier
yeah,
this year.
that that was
That
that was
was
that was the one in January.
that was the first time I heard about Expedition 33, and then I heard and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then I heard um Lucy, I heard Lucy James, Ralph from Skill Up, and Jake Baldino talk about it on the Friends Per Second podcast around right before it came out, and they were talking about like the story, like the premise of it, and talking about the gameplay. And I was like, this sounds really really cool. And then it finally came out on Game Pass, and I just downloaded it like on a whim. and just decided to give it a shot. And 8 months later, it's my new favorite game of all time.
It's a it's such a special game because even kind of again going back to it with the update, I thought was so funny was I had a very similar moment to Astrobot last year. Even though I played Astrobot really close to the wire of when it was winning Game of the Year, where I didn't really know what to expect because they had said a little bit, but we didn't really know what the new update was going to be this year. I was not surprised that it shadow dropped, but also again, what
I
a
thought it was
fucking flex of a move.
I thought it was hilarious. It was literally they literally pulled Taylor Swift announcing her new album at the Grammys.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like that's the kind of like move that you really only do when you have that level of confidence. And like even though like they
Yeah,
didn't know they were going to win, it's the thing of like yeah, you might not know you're going to win, but like you look at the reaction that people have online to this game and it's like yeah, even though there are a large amount of people who look at the reaction to Expedition 33 winning and might be like, what the fuck is up with this? Like, I've even gotten a lot of questions from people who haven't played it when I talk about it or mention that it won the awards. And it's like, hey, listen, a lot of those people who have those questions are from people who either A, have no interest in ever playing a game like that, or just haven't played it. Because I have still to this day not talked to anyone who has played this game and hasn't been like, holy shit, this is really special.
I've only talked to like a couple, like maybe like one, two people max who were either like it's good, or uh, it wasn't for me, or
Yeah,
like
which by the way,
or it didn't click for me.
I can totally see not being the case. Like if you're
Oh
someone who
yeah,
does not like if you're someone who does not like turn-based RPGs, this game is not going to make you a believer. If you're
no,
someone who
probably
is
not.
not a fan of dodge and parry systems or have an adversement to that, like that shit's not going to be easy for you. Like you can't just have that on autoplay and just get going. So I totally get that as well.
Yeah,
Now, kind
not every game is for everyone. The only things that are for everyone are water and oxygen. Everything else is completely subjective.
now going to the update, I do want to say because both of us have played it. I wish I had counted how long I ended up playing it all in all with it because it was kind of funny. If I wasn't again, but outside of talking to you for it a little bit on Discord, I wasn't sure how big it was going to be. I thought the trailer for it was interesting because the trailer did a good job of kind of showing off what was added, but didn't really
I
go into
didn't.
either like how big it was or even the funny one of like when I booted up the game, I didn't even think about this until I started. I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll boot up the game, and I bet there'll be like a little update that says, "Congratulations, you've downloaded the update. Go here to do this." And no, the game does not do that. Like
No, it does not. I didn't.
I bet there were so many Google searches of being like, "Where is Verso's drafts?"
No, I didn't. So I didn't look at the trailers at all because I wanted to go in 100% blind. Um, I didn't see anything about that. The only thing I saw, I was like seeing like I was already seeing like screenshots and like people on Twitter talking about it already. But I tried to like avoid as little of it as possible. The only thing I remember seeing was I think it was a tweet from the Expedition 33 account, that said something along the lines of the new area versus drafts is is right next to Lumiere or something like that. It's just like basically like telling me like okay where the new area is. Otherwise, I had no clue what to expect.
Yeah, and what's cool about it is this I don't even know if this was like on purpose or not because like they are so different, but the meaning behind it is just very similar. Because I liked your description of kind of being like it almost feels like a birthday party or like a birthday cake of a level,
Yeah,
and it
it's like
really
it's like we went.
and it
It's like it's like we asked like we had a great like filling meal, and then we went up and asked more please, and then they gave us like a special like piece of cake, which is kind of appropriate considering the considering the update.
Yeah, and what was cool about it is is very similar to the Christmas level they added for Astrobot that also came out after the Game Awards last year, where
Hmm.
that level is a completely brand new standalone level with a bunch of unlockables that are exclusive to it, but also in the level is kind of like a love letter to the game and the fans of just being like, hey, here's a lot more of just what people liked or what people wanted or things that were there. Like it wasn't meant to be like, in the similar with versus drafts is like it's not meant to be an epilogue. Like if you just jump in and play on your first playthrough and get to versus drafts, like you're not gonna feel like, oh, this is very clearly like the new, like it is bigger than I expected in the sense of it lasted me longer than I would have expected, but it wasn't like this massive expansion. It wasn't like something
No,
you would have like. It's not.
it was a free
What's
update. It
the
wasn't a DLC pack.
Well, I'm even thinking of something that like I could have seen as like an update or like a DLC that I was surprised was in the base game. What was the level where you go into like the heights with like the giant trees?
The giant trees. I don't know. There's so many like location names.
It's the one where you have the big one-on-one boss fight with Mael at the end, and you have that big flashback as well as it's like you climbing up with all the zip ladders and the ropes and the levers of the like trees trying to get all the way to the top. And that was one where
That's Miles. Yeah, that's Oh, I forgot what it's called, but yeah, that's where the third axon is. Miles' axon,
yes.
or Alicia's
So
axon.
that whole like that was like a full dungeon. Like that was like multiple big cutscenes, story, big long
Yeah.
level. Like I was even almost thinking like, okay, I could see maybe the largest we would get is something like that. Like this isn't that big. Like there's a lot to explore. There's actually a lot of like fun unlockables and like optional bits of like cutscenes and things that were fun. But also what was cool was like it's one of those ones of like, hey, if you just want to pop in and just run to the new super boss, like you're gonna miss a lot of
You
stuff
can.
with it, but it's like
Oh yeah.
there is mostly one big new cutscene, and there's a lot of fun flavor text when you're running around the world, which I thought was cool. But
Honestly, the
like,
best way for me, it felt like going through Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
oh yeah, no, and I mean, it's really well done. The new music is fantastic, by the way. They
Excellent.
really just fucking they crushed it, especially with the battle themes. But like, what was so interesting about it was it got me just kind of back in that mood. Like I hadn't played Expedition in so many months, and I was wondering, I'm like, how rusty am I gonna be? Like, am I still gonna be able to like play this pretty well? But also at the same time, I was like, well, I still do need to grind to level 99. I still want to beat Simon. I still want to do a couple of last few things. And this update did add a lot of new things, which was nice. Especially shout out to all the new bosses they added to the Endless Tower. Like they
Yeah.
really added so much cool stuff with this, like including the photo mode. The only thing missing in this update that I just thought this must just be them putting their foot down that they're never going to add this in there. It like the only way it could have been them being like we're adding everything you asked for. I was shocked there's still no mini map.
Yeah. No,
That's like the only thing everyone bitches about.
that was a well, I bitch about the menus, but I remember listening to a podcast, a French podcast actually, that and Guillaume and the art director uh Max, yeah. I don't want to say Maxence because that's Maxence Cazorla, SK's VA, and also the mocap actor for Gustave and Verso, but Max Francoum, I believe. I'm probably getting that slightly wrong, but they were on a French podcast, which uh with the France equivalent. The best way I can describe him our for our American listeners or English listeners, um, his name is called Joël Dugrenier, and he's basically the French angry video game nerd. And so they were on around when the game launched, they were on a podcast with them, and I think it was there they were talking about how it was a conscious decision not to include a minimap of any kind, either a minimap or map within the dungeon itself. Um, I can't remember all the specifics that they said, but it was something along the lines of they didn't want to have, they wanted players to be immersed in the world, and they felt that having a mini map or a map of any kind would kind of hinder that, or because they would just be focused on the map the entire time, which I totally get. For sure, I understand. I'm kind of mixed overall about the lack of like a mini map or map of any kind. On the one hand, I get their reasoning, their logic. It definitely made me watch where I was going. Maybe want to explore like every nook and cranny, but at the same time, I would get slightly lost in some of the bigger areas, and would have to be like, okay, let me just look this up on YouTube real quick. But again, I get why they didn't do it, and overall, I still stand by their decision. I still think, yeah, it was still the right call to not have a mini map.
Which I totally get, because I never thought the minimap was like a deal breaker for me, but it was just kind of one of those things where I was like, oh, I could kind of see that in there. The other one, I was genuinely shocked, because I knew there was a lot of interest with it. I just didn't think if they were going to add it in, I'm not sure if it will be a technical pain or if it's really worth it for them. I don't know what they did or who they did to hire to get in that, but like, man, the fucking photo mode they added in is so insane.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like
so much better than
I tried
so
messing
much better than expected.
I tried messing around with it a bit. It was so daunting. I was like, oh god, I'm not built for this.
Yeah, you weren't fucking making global illuminations on Lune's face or like in the middle of it. Like the fact that it
No,
straight
I just
up
took foot
just
pics.
lets you. That's true. But like the man, by the way, they let you zoom in. Like you can
Yeah,
get into them. You can get into those dogs. Like that game's
yeah.
photo mode is
Oh
fucking
yeah,
wild. But like I was even shocked at the fact of like it lets you do it in Overworld. It lets you do it in the
cutscenes.
cutscenes is crazy. Moving around in the cutscenes is crazy, but then also even lets you do it in battle. Like the battle one is
Yeah.
extra funny because the battles being such a locked camera, usually unless you're doing an attack. I went back and I loaded up a save of the final boss fight in Act 3, and getting to move around the camera in that room is just insanely cool.
Wow.
The other thing, though, I was going to say, criticism, but actually not going to hold it against them because I get it. It was very much a last minute addition for it. If you are someone who wanted anything more from Lune, CL, or Minoko, please properly get fucked. There was nothing for them.
No.
Uh, but
This was
under,
all Verso Mael
understandable. And
SK.
SK. And
And
SK
SK, yeah.
got more than I would have thought. Um, I don't
He
want to
was the
spoil.
first person to talk in when you first entered the area.
Yeah, that is true. I don't want to get into any spoilers with it, but yeah, if you have beaten the game or even are remotely curious, like, do not sleep on this update.
No,
No
it's
trophy
phenomenal. It's a good
sucks, but it's
it's
an
a,
absolute must. Like in
again,
terms
it's
of
an update.
story.
It's a great it's a solid 2 to 3 hours at least, maybe more, depending on how much you struggle with that one certain
Oh,
boss they added.
I thought you were gonna say the fucking the red inner tube. Fucking jumping into that goddamn
Oh
red inner
god,
tube took me
I
an
gave up
hour.
on that. I gave up on that. You know what else I
When I
you know what else
found
I
out, by the
struggled with?
way, when I
Hold
found
on.
out the red tube, I was like, oh well, probably just I was worried there was like a birthday cake piece in there. I was like, oh man, I have to do this, and I realized, oh, you didn't have to. And then I found out who it gave you like sweet hair piece for Minoko. I was like, oh fuck, now I have to.
You know what I really struggled with actually? The seesaw.
The
I could
seesaw
not
was rough. Yeah, that one
I
was
could
harder than
not
I
for the
thought.
life I could not for the life of it took me like 10, 15 minutes because I could not figure out what the timing was supposed to be. I was either jumping too early, too late. It's like I, I was like, God, I don't remember jumping having this harsh of a window before.
Yeah, it made me remember slash whatever the opposite of fondness was for the platforming challenges in this game. Be like, oh yeah, I forgot we got to do shit in this game.
Yeah, but yeah, no,
Um,
fantastic new update.
I will say because it is completely optional, and they're not the hardest boss in the game
No,
added.
they're not Simon level hard, but I would put them on the level of Clea.
Yeah, but no, I was gonna say actually someone even besides the ending boss in the DLC. The update adds one optional quest for the
Does
one
it?
guy who there is an optional quest in the new area that it had to have been made for people like me who they're not least favorite, but like it's the enemy everyone always hates to see the most, especially when you're trying to master pairing of the fake out guy. There's one battle
Oh
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
a
I know.
dude who literally is just, I am gonna show you
Yes,
60 seconds of fake outs and you have to learn them. And the patterns are all so fucking long that it's like, thank God,
it
like
is.
you get to do it as long as you want. Like there's no pressure. It's totally optional. But I felt inspired. I was like, I am gonna beat this dude if it's the last thing I fucking do.
Can I be honest? I'm being 100% honest here.
Hmm.
Um, I'm to my surprise, I got all three of those first try, and I couldn't
Man,
believe it.
Chad alert
Because I was
over here.
because I was mashing the parry, like I was like mashing parries, like like I kept getting faked out. Yet somehow, when he actually finally landed the hit, I somehow parried like all three times, and I was like, there's no way.
It was very
There's
satisfying though. When you
oh,
do
it was
finally do it though, it felt so good.
oh, I mean, it like I said, it didn't really take me. I did that first try, but also what was way more satisfying than that was parrying the final boss.
Oh yeah, that's true. I
Because
will
good,
say though,
because good
I will
God,
say if that guy had to have a name, because I think he just goes by like Half Baked Gestural or whatever. If that dude had to have a name, he was like Rage Bait as combat. Like that's like
rage
Rage
baiting
Bait like the
gestural,
character.
rage baiting gestural.
But yes, that's the Expedition 33 Glazeathon. By the way, I don't think it's been on sale more than once, or if it has, it's been on sale very very few times.
It's been on
The
sale a few
game
times. I've seen it.
physically on sale. I was
Oh,
surprised
physically,
to
yeah,
see the game physically was finally cheaper than $50, and sold out a couple times. But I've been glad to see more people playing it. It's been cool as
yeah,
well because GameStop finally put out their big collector's edition. The reprint wave is finally been showing up at people's houses. And
okay.
also, I totally forgot I ordered this. It hasn't shipped yet. I don't know why, but I
Oh,
haven't gotten any
did you order
notifications about it.
did
The
you order
Mirror Edition.
the mirror edition? Yeah.
I have that. It has not arrived yet. It's supposed to be coming out later this week. The thing about it is like, and it's still on stock, is like, do I need the Mirror Edition? God, no. I do not need two copies of this game. Am I ordering this just because the Steelbook is fucking beautiful and has the Alicia and Verso on
Of
it?
course.
1000%. Like that, I don't know if they've used that art anywhere in the promotional materials before, but like, I think that is so cool. And even just the small fact of like having Renoir on the outer cover for it, it's just like it looks so good. It looks
Yeah.
so good.
No, it looks great.
Plus, in all honesty, I'll probably just find a friend who has not played Expedition 33, and we'll just give them the other disc. And be like, here you go, play this game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've been trying to convince one of my coworkers to play it for months.
Oh my god! You know what I need to do?
Still no success.
I should bring the other disc to the Persona concert, and I'll be like, whoever is in line with us while waiting for the show to start, whoever the first person in line is who has not played Expedition 33, I'm like, here you go. You have no excuse now. You have to
Here,
play Peak.
they're like, do you have a what system? What system?
Oh, PS5, of course.
You'd be like, all right, who here has a PS5? Who here hasn't played Expedition 33? Here you go.
Just instantly chucking it at their face.
Yeah.
But speaking of games that are not out though,
Well,
and things that'll be
hold on.
happening. Oh yeah.
Before we move on, I want to talk about the music, the Game Awards,
Oh
because
no! Thank you. Yo, I totally forgot because
they
the musical performance. I made a reference to it. Man, that did not go well.
which one? The opening?
I thought the performance was fine, but something was clearly off with the sound mixing because there was, at least from like
Very
the
true.
official recording for it, it did not sound great. I think everyone was doing good, but
Well,
I
the
think the
official
sound mixing was fucked.
the official recording, that's all studio magic. There's a or I'm thinking back to a few weeks ago, or I think last month. I was listening to another podcast with Koji Fox of Square Enix, and how he's in like a cover band with like other members of Square Enix where they do songs from Final Fantasy 14 at like FanFest. And he was talking about how he first got into it, and he was like kind of roped into becoming the singer, even though he had like no singing experience at all. And the guitarist, I forgot their name, was like, "Don't worry, it'll work. Science." Uh, he used like science as like the shorthand term for studio magic, basically. But all that to say, that's the recorded version you hear. That's nothing but mixing. That's production. That's EQ. That's all that to make sure, to make what we hear like the studio version is like the best version we hear. Live is a lot trickier because there's a lot of things that just you can't really uh there's a lot of things you can't account for when performing live versus recording in a studio. And yeah, it's the mixing wasn't great for sure. I thought both the singers sounded great. And L'Oreal's guitar I thought also sounded great, even though there must have been something wrong maybe with his monitor slightly, because he was slightly off time with the solo, and I could tell that definitely like messed him up slightly.
Well, like
Um, I get
that song is awesome, but like man, I
It's
mean like I don't
incredible.
know. It might have just been one of those ones of like honestly, they really could have just picked an easier song and still probably crushed it because I think most people would have expected, oh well, if they're gonna play anything live, they're gonna play Lumiere live, and it's like the fact that they chose that
I think
song
that would have been.
specifically, I thought was great because it's such a good kind of like show of like, hey, like this soundtrack is much more than just that opening like area with it. Like that we like the battle themes are so special, but at the same time, like you said, like they take such like studio magic to finish, let alone performing them live is a completely different ball game.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like also they might have been like slightly. I don't want to say out of practice because they've done the song in concert before because they did a run of shows in France in like October, I believe, from like October to November. They did like like six like a number of dates, and they're doing more in spring throughout more of Europe. I guess maybe they didn't quite have as much rehearsal time because maybe they were doing it with the Game Awards orchestra, so maybe wasn't as much time to practice there. I guess some things just maybe they just weren't as prepared which happens. And they still did the best they could. And like I said, with Lauren on the guitar, he was sounding great. Well, the tone sounded great. The solo itself was a bit off time. But what I wanted to say, I get the feeling that maybe he just didn't care, because you saw by the end he was jumping around. He was just having a blast, like playing. He didn't care, like if he was like not quite hitting like every note, if he was like kind of if his solo was a bit clinking and clanking, like in Guitar Hero when you miss notes. He was just having fun. He was just happy to be there, and I really get the feeling that it was like that for the vocalist as well, Alice Dupont-Percier, and I forgot the male vocalist name. It was, I think, Mickey. I want to say, I can't remember, but I remember he did like an incredible like vocal cover, like shortly after the game came out. He did an incredible like vocal cover where he sang Une vie à t'aimer himself, and I'm pretty sure that's what got him the gig in the first place, because he was also the male singer for when they did the run of shows in France in October, and I assume he'll be working with them when they do their tour in spring as well.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I would still, because there's just so far no North American dates added, but like I've
No,
got to imagine I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
It's gotta. I mean, it's also like it's an incredible testament to like how amazing. Well, one, it's amazing, but how popular the soundtrack is, because not only did it chart on the Billboard like classical charts, but like already within the year that the game came out, they're already doing like concert tours of the soundtrack. Like, do you know how long it took for Persona to start doing that, or Sonic? And I know,
Dude, it fucking took
I know, like
it took Death Stranding 2 games and almost 10
Death
years
Stranding,
just
yeah,
to get one.
yeah. And meanwhile, they're like doing it within 12 months, within a 12-month stretch. They go from releasing a game to doing concert tours for this incredible soundtrack. And also,
crazy, man.
and then of course we had the Game Award, or the Game of the Year medley, which to answer your question actually about why they didn't do Lumiere, they did do Lumiere in the medley. Or they did the motif, at least. Ding 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 ding. I guess also, but like you said, or I guess it would have made sense as well to do Lumiere as an opening, but part of me thinks it would have been like it would have made way more people angry, because you open the show, especially considering how the show ended up turning out with Claire Obscure sweeping nearly everything. Them opening the show by just going, Clair obscur, trouble de rapture, trouvera Eiffel. Please mute me when you edit this later. I don't want to hear anyone. I know I want my singing to be heard. But I think, but yeah, so yeah, those two things. One, they didn't do Lumia at the start because they were going to do it in the medley, but also it would have, if so many more people would have gotten angry, and I know that wouldn't have been their intention, but to so many people, that's probably how it would have come across. And I don't think this game needs more heat than it has right now.
No, and I totally get it. I will say, because it's another one that's kind of more contentious, but again, it's such a tough one to try and crank out so quickly, especially with the time frame the Game Awards has. I thought the medley this year was okay. I feel like it was a little bit weak just in terms of like the song choice and things flowing together. I will say, completely saved, like 100% saved by whoever actually got the okay to get Pauline's voice actress and sing
that
live.
Was insane.
That saved it. Yeah, that was a good pull.
I love that. Well, I mean, I liked all the songs too. I particularly liked the ones that stood out. Well, yes, the DK Bonanza portion, but I also really enjoyed the small sample that I heard from Hades 2 and Silksong. I really like those.
It was I mean, listen, they're all great soundtracks, but I mean, you can only try to top hearing Astrobot and Balatro in the same song
Yeah.
versus another one with it. That was one of those ones up there where another really good one was the one 2 years ago. I forget what some of the other games were nominated, but the year where they had Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate was also another one that was like, oh my
Mhm.
god, it was so fucking good. But
The
that
the one that
one's
also stood
that
out, also the one that stood out was the one for me, the previous year, 2022. I still remember having Elden Ring, and just
God of War.
for God, Ragnarok, yes, but also Plague Tale: Innocence. I really liked.
Oh,
Those flowed really well.
oh my god. Can't believe we're getting another one of those like next year.
Yeah, yeah. Resonance, was it?
Yes. Be very, very. Oh no, no, that's that's Control. Control's Residence. The Plague
No, that's
Tale
Resonant. Resonant.
Resonant. What is the Plague Tale? Let me look this up. Plague Tale
I'm
3, even though I know it's not. Requiem.
No, that's the sequel. Oh, I said
That's what
I
it said.
said
Oh,
Innocence. That was the
no,
first
no,
one.
no. You
Innocence
no,
is the
you
first
got it
one. God
right.
damn.
You got it right. It's Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy.
And I got and when I said Plague Tale: Innocence before in 2022, I meant Plague Tale: Requiem. Innocence is the first game. So I was both
Timelines are
right and
hard.
wrong.
Um,
Titles
we
are
can
hard.
speaking of things though that are next year, we can now go through
Yes. Now,
some of the announcements. I will say I don't think it was the best year for announcements. I will say the lows
no.
were not annoying and the highs were very surprising. Like there were a lot of things that I was not expecting to be there, which was nice cuz I feel like the general vibe the week like this week before the show was kind of like why does everyone just keep announcing their new shit's gonna be here? Like, why is it like, can't we just like wait till Thursday?
So what were
So
some standouts for you? Or sorry, how are you gonna do it?
I've got so many. I mean, I figure we can just kind of bounce off each other until we're out of one. But
Okay.
I mean, if you're gonna go with me first, we already brought it up with it. Fucking Control Resonance, man.
Control
Whole.
Resonance. Yes. I
I
put
mean,
I in
multiple
my
things to be excited about. Of like, because we knew Control 2 was happening.
yeah.
I think the biggest surprise is whether they wanted it to come out next year or not, or even if it hits it, I'll be a little bit surprised. I will not be surprised if that game gets delayed. I think
Yeah.
they
But it's
probably
Remedy.
dated it. Well, I do have to
I'm
say,
confident in Remedy.
I worry that FBC fucked them so hard that they had to put
Yeah,
that there because
that's
that's
a
one of those
bummer.
ones where it's like, that game launched really rough, but it is clearly two different teams. And then like, I think if we just saw that CG trailer, I still would have been hyped. But the fact that they showed gameplay was such a flex.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited. I don't expect to see it come out until like late in the year, but I will be there day one.
I am ready to see how broken this game is going to run on my PS5 or fuck man, Series X. Like that game
Bro, I'm on
looked
Series
to
S.
yeah,
I'm on
like
Series S. I am
that
my
that
console's gonna
game
melt.
that game gives me like similar with how Control 1 was. I remember when Control 1 was getting shown off and I'd be like I remember people would watch it and be like, "How the fuck is this game going to work on consoles?" Spoilers, not well. But you know what?
No.
We're here to try it anyway. And I'm like I think that especially with all the lessons they've learned from Alan Wake 2, I am very excited to see where it goes. And I don't know why, like, I'm really surprised that it's not just Jesse is the only protagonist. I think playing as Dylan is so cool.
I
And then the
know.
fact that it's so different than the first one in the sense of, like, straight up, they just said, hey, what if instead of another third person shooter, what if we just made fucking Devil May Cry?
I know. That's what I love about Remedy. Like they're clearly not afraid to like experiment with gameplay, even though, and I don't really mean this completely as a slight against Remedy, but aside from Control, I feel like the gameplay is always the worst part of Remedy's games.
Oh,
Um,
100%. Yeah.
well, Max Payne 1 and 2 as well. Those were good, and Control, but Alan Wake 1, Quantum Break, Alan Wake 2, I just their gameplay was just very very rough around the edges. But the fact that they just keep
Quantum Break too.
I mentioned Quantum Break.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, but now they're gonna seeing how they're gonna try their hand at fucking Devil May Cry. That's like, okay, let's see what you got. It's always a surprise with Remedy.
It also, I will say, on top of just like timing wise for everything, my gut was telling me, I was like, if we were gonna see Remedy at all, I was like, oh, clearly we're gonna see Max Payne remake before Control 2. I would not have thought that there was a
I wouldn't have been
chance.
surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if they'd shown off Max Payne 1 and 2, but knowing that like Control 2 has been in development, I fully expected, okay, if Remedy do show something at the Game Awards, more than likely it'll be Control 2, though I wouldn't have ruled out Max Payne 1 and 2. Um, maybe, but apparently it's going really well, so I think we might see Max Payne 1 and 2 Summer Game Fest at the very earliest, or if not, maybe next year's Game Awards.
Yeah, it's hard to say because the weird thing is Take-Two still has so many games to come out with, and obviously
Yeah.
since they're still publishing it, even though Remedy's developing it, like there's no reason, especially because it won't. I mean, it's going to be published by Take-Two, but it will very clearly be another Rockstar game, and I think
Yes.
Rockstar. I'm honestly, I mean, I've been surprised since they even announced that they were doing this with Remedy. Has been such a crazy un-Rockstar thing to do that I've always been shocked of how much freedom Rockstar has given them in terms of letting them talk about it. Like the fact that
I
we
know.
get updates like this is very unlike them, but at the same time in a year where GTA 6 is coming out, I will not be shocked if the game is done, but we're just waiting to get away from GTA 6.
Oh God. I don't. I don't want to talk about GTA 6. I just don't care.
Man, I don't know. I'm like the opposite where I'm like I that's just one of those games where it's like, I mean, that again, you want to fucking, not that I think it'll happen, but I'm like, assuming nothing blows up with that game, prepare for the GTA 6 awards as the 2026 Game Awards. Like that game is gonna literally just be like soundtrack, direction, story, overall, fucking multiplayer
Players
if there is any.
players choice finally going to it instead of a gotcha game. It'll some
Yeah, but that.
it'll somehow win adaptation as well.
God, yeah. So, yeah, GTA 6, God only knows, but man, more Remedy is always a good thing, especially
Yes.
when it's not FBC Firebreak. That's great.
That's a shame.
I wanted to like that game, but man, like, that is such a game that even with their best intents was like someone should have just stopped them. Like they did the opposite of what Naughty Dog did. Like Naughty Dog really should have put out Factions. Like there was no reason they shouldn't
Yeah.
have canceled that or given it to someone else to make, because it was like, listen, even in a world of live service bombs, like there is a market for people who want to play the Factions again for The Last of Us. Control fans, we do not need a Left 4 Dead. We are good. No thanks, man. You want to give
No.
me some more lore? Write me a book. Work on Control 2. We are not here for it.
It's a bummer, but what can you do?
What about you, though? What is another game that stood out to you that was announced? Whether it was announced or had a new trailer for it.
So I want to mention maybe a smaller game that they might have like flown under the radar. Ontos,
Oh, looks so good. Looks so good.
the apparent spiritual successor to Soma, which I played just this year, just a couple months ago. And holy fuck, I loved Soma so much. I still think about that game.
Another Kepler game.
Yeah, huh?
Um,
That one.
Soma.
What about you? Oh, sorry.
Soma, I was gonna say for Ontos looks really fucking good. I love that team just from I've played a lot of
Stellan
the Amnesia
Skarsgård.
games. Oh yeah, it's true too. Man, Skarsgård is getting around these days, but
Yeah.
I still need to get to Soma. I waited for years thinking I was going to be a physical for it, but like at this point it goes on sale so much and I only hear good things about how fucking great Soma is that I'm like
No, it's
I need to
phenomenal.
play this. I'm so behind on Soma.
No, I loved Soma so much. One of the best stories I experienced this year.
Another one. This one's like a quickie, just because I was surprised that not that it was there, because this was one we knew was going to be there. We just didn't know what kind of game it was. I I'm way more into Coven of the Chicken Foot than I thought I would be, and
Hmm.
not because I'm not into those kind of games. I really am. I just wasn't expecting it to be such an eco-like. Like it very much gave me that
Yeah,
kind of Last Guardian eco
the last.
vibe.
I was gonna say Last Guardian. Yeah.
And then the fact on like it looks fantastic, it sounds great, and then even on top of everything there, and you just be like, oh, and it's done by fucking Bruce Straley. I'm like, yes, like that dude has
Yeah.
an amazing track record. There are no complaints by me.
Yeah. Very true.
And that one's a really cool one. That's that team's first new game. I think they've been around for almost 2 or almost 3 years at this point, and they're like, yeah, it's very much made to be a small game. Like they kind of have that mentality of like kind of like how Ken Levine's studio started, but actually doing it where it's like, let's make a small team, let's do a small project, let's do a cool, clear vision, and not try to be the next Naughty Dog, like purposefully, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
So on the pre-show, I really saw Bradley the Badger.
Now you know who the creative director on that game is.
I do not. I missed it.
That is the new game by the studio's by a bunch of different devs, but the creative director on it is the same creative director who did the Mario Rabbids games.
Oh, interesting.
And do you know who's doing the soundtrack for Bradley the Badger?
Who?
Grant fucking Kirkhope.
Oh. Oh well, now I'm even more interested.
I thought the trailer looked great. I'm a fucking sucker for Evan Peters. I'm here for it all day. Like, I don't know who
Yeah.
signed him up for it, because I don't think Evan Peters has ever done a video game before, or at least not a good one. That game, to me, is like, there's a way that you can make a really annoying Bradley the Badger, but I think that showed off so strongly that it was like, okay, I trust that team. They have the fucking pedigree for it, and everyone working on it is crushing it.
Hmm. For sure.
My only complaint only announced for PC so far, but I'm sure things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any
I think so too.
thoughts on God? How do we feel about Gang of Dragon, the new Negoshi game?
Very, very excited. I saw a tweet. Negoshi tweeted that he was at the Game Awards, and I immediately got curious. I was like, "Oh, what you got?" And man, he did not disappoint. Especially considering RGG's latest track record. I mean, they had a rough. I'm afraid to say, I think RGG had a really rough year.
No, yeah, this is, and it's
Uh,
kind of funny because obviously Negoshi's had nothing to do with it, but I think this
no,
game having such a great, strong-looking trailer with RGG having probably one of their worst years in their existence, which is an extra bummer because it's an anniversary year, but it's like, man,
yeah,
like they RGG like has just not really been on a good track record even still with so many things
no,
going on. But on top of that, it's like obviously I think a lot of people were expecting Nagoshi just to make his version of Yakuza. Two things I will say that have been nice to like obviously it is going to be a Yakuza like, but has its own kind of vibe. Number one, just the general like brutality of it is really fucking
Yeah.
noticeable. Like it doesn't it looks like Yakuza until it is going of like it's very much going for way more of like a grittier story. Not that Yakuza
Mm-hmm.
doesn't get gritty, but also at the same time, fucking Don, the man, he's fucking built like a brick house. I think having him,
Mad Madong Suk.
dude, like
Hell yeah.
having him as the lead, great idea. Also extra funny because I was already ready for him not to be in another video game because he's in Fizzant. Like Kojima announced that like
Oh, that's
he
right.
casted him in Fizzant. He was even in he had a cameo in Death Stranding 2. So I was very surprised to see him in
Oh,
this as the lead, and also extra surprised because the game takes place in Japan. Spoilers, that is a very Korean man. The
no, he's Korean.
but what's cool is he actually his character in it. I don't know if you've like seen like the like store page descriptions for it, but he works for the Korean mafia, so it will very much clearly be a Korean mafia with the Japanese yakuza kind of a storyline, which is
Yeah.
very cool.
It's kind of like it almost feels like a spiritual successor, not to Yakuza, but I want to say to Judgment,
Oh
because
yeah,
Judgment was kind of its own like spin-off of Yakuza slash Like a Dragon, and now Gang of Dragon, I feel like is more of a spiritual successor. Well, I guess you could say it's a spiritual successor to both, but I feel like it's more of Judgment than it is Like a Dragon. But like I said, you could see both in there.
so have you seen many shows or movies with Don Lee in it? Out of curiosity.
I am not.
So the biggest one,
Okay, well, or maybe can you name me some?
well, his biggest one probably not claim to fame wise, but his big one back in the day was probably Train to Busan. Um,
Oh, of course, Train to. Oh, that's right.
but
Yes, no, I've seen Train to Busan. He's incredible.
he's like so good in action movies. His more recent ones, like he's done, are called like the Roundup and stuff. But like, there's another one called like the Gangster,
Mm.
the Cop, and the Devil. Like he it just does such a good job, and
Oh wait, wasn't he? Wasn't he in
he
Eternals?
was, yeah. That was another one I was gonna say.
Oh, that's
He
right.
was really, really good, but also super underused in Eternals with it. But like, he's a great actor. He's got such good chops, and what's nice is I don't know his like knowledge base with Japanese, but the fact that it was actually him speaking English in the trailer, I thought was extra cool. Of like,
Oh
it would
wow.
be like such a flex if he doesn't have like a dub. Like it is just him speaking English, speaking Korean, speaking Japanese in the game. I
Do He's doing all the voices.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
God.
I think that would be a flex because the only other way, and from the mocap, I was even getting a lot of his like body, and like I could really like I wouldn't be shocked, but it's so time consuming. It's hard to always get actors, especially big Hollywood ones, in for it. But like, it almost looks like they also have him doing the mocap. So it's like it would be really really cool to like kind of see
I
like
mean,
how into it he is.
having seen Train to Busan, I totally buy that he does his own stunts.
Oh, which, by the way, dude is 54 and still that fucking big. Like that dude is massive for a J's.
Hell yeah.
Now the main question, because the big meme image that always goes around with him, is will there be DLC for the Hello Kitty phone case? Do you think we can get him to have the Hello Kitty phone case in the game?
Ooh. You know what? I think we can.
It's in the budget. So yeah,
It's in well,
Gang of Dragon.
crowd. I'll crowdfund
Is
it.
it just more Yakuza? 100%. But given the current state of Yakuza, I'm all fucking here for it.
I was about to say I'll never say no to more Yakuza, but I'm thinking of saying no to Yakuza Kiwami 3.
Oh, dude, no, honestly, yeah, I mean that's its own fucking bag of worms. But dude, I gotta say also,
Yeah.
the nice thing about this game, because it's a fresh start, no baggage. You don't gotta fucking tell someone,
Yeah.
oh, well, did you play 1 through 7? Did you play 0? Did you play Gaiden? It's like, no, this is just a new starting point, which is very nice.
Did you complete Saijuma's hunting quest in Yakuza
Yeah,
5?
exactly.
Ugh.
What about you?
But also I was also even though RGD has had kind of a rough year. I was a bit disappointed to not see more of Stranger Than Heaven. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that. Just would have been nice to see more, but right now I just hope RDG like sorts more shit out.
You know what? We can talk
Um,
about Sega really quick because Sega
yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking.
Sega had I'm in a weird spot with this. So I don't think Sega did anything wrong by teasing that they were going to be at the Game Awards. My thing is this: I always fucking forget that fucking apparently Sega fans think that the only fans who exist for that company are Sonic, Yakuza, and Persona. So like when Total War 40K was there, I was like
That was neat.
that's cool. Like Creative Assembly does a lot of fucking cool shit. They do a lot of good games. Like obviously, if I had to pick,
Hmm.
obviously I'd rather see an Atlas game than another Total War, but like those games are huge. Like
Of course.
those
Yeah.
games
No.
make a ton of money. Those are like that's a really big deal. But like also at the same time, speaking of Creative Assembly, I would have fucking died if we saw Alien Isolation 2.
Isolation 2.
I know it's too early, but like
Too
the
early. It's been 11 years.
well, since they officially announced it, but like the thing with it is like Sega fans have to stop acting like when something is not one of their big things, or even just like a Japanese Sega IP, like it doesn't matter. Because it's like, dude, honestly, Total War, I'm willing to bet sold more copies this year than fucking Sonic Racing did.
Yeah. Likely. Speaking of which, I'm surprised Sonic Racing lost to Mario Kart.
Oh,
Well,
not at all,
partially
not at
surprised.
all.
Partially surprised.
I'm still very much on the hater train of like, if you fucking listen, Sonic Racing Crossroads may be the best racing game Sonic has had in a very long time. If you put it in the same league as Mario World, it's like, listen, the problems with Mario Kart World do not change the fact that Sonic is not even halfway as good as Mario Kart World. People are high on a kite if
If
they think otherwise.
I haven't played either, so I'll take your word for it.
But yeah,
I guess.
just the general Sega fan freak out I thought was very silly and unwarranted.
Yeah, it was. It kind of reminded me. I was gonna make a joke about how they pulled a Dwayne Johnson at John Cena's final match, in that he didn't show up.
Oh yeah.
But that would have been disrespectful, because Dwayne Johnson actually at least sent a video message. Sega didn't even like, or no, Sega had, yeah, Total War.
Sega Japan pulled the Mortal Kombat 2 is what you're telling me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cuz I will say, and that's the weird thing. It's like Sega Japan has shown up big time before, but especially with how expensive these shows get and showing around at other places and having different times, I'm like, Atlas especially, like, Atlas doesn't really have to show anything here. It's like, yeah, it would make sense, but it's like, we're still not in the anniversary year. We're coming off of, I think, what
Yeah,
will universally be agreed upon is like, this was probably the quietest, most boring year Atlas has had, like, ever.
true.
So,
Remember, remember Raito?
every day, try that demo, everybody. Play that demo.
Uh,
So it's like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm not shocked that they were not at the Keeleys, but I also don't. I also can't be surprised because like these are the kind of people who think, oh well, Nintendo's gonna be there, so then it has to be the new Zelda, it has to be the new Mario. It's like we can't always expect it to be the big dogs come out. Like I feel like especially with shows like this, similar to with like Nintendo Directs and stuff, you are always going to be benefited by having no expectations versus any at all.
yeah. I thought this for a longest time. I kind of stopped thinking it, and you'll get why. But for the last few years, um I felt like waiting for a new like Persona announcement, or like a Persona 6 announcement, was akin to waiting for the next D'Angelo album, which, well, can't really say that anymore, because
Damn. Damn.
now we're never getting that new D'Angelo album. Rest in peace, D'Angelo.
Oh man, thanks for reminding me about that one.
his Red Dead 2 song. Mm.
Man, I can't believe that was this year.
Um,
What the fuck, man? What has this year been?
I know. Time is a flat circle.
Well, I'm pulling up a couple other ones that I wanted to ask you about.
I got a couple
Oh
more.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw me one. Throw me one.
Well, you no, you throw me one.
I want to kind of get this one out because I don't want to end it on a whimper. I am so hyped. Mega Man is back. I don't think Dual
Yeah.
Override is the best way. Sorry, Dual Override is I'm sure going to be an awesome game. I don't think that level of hype should have been given to a game that looks like more Mega Man 11.
Especially especially for a game that looks like more Mega Man 11 that's not coming out until 2027
On the Switch 1,
for a
by the way.
whole
Switch 1 and
for a whole
PS4.
other year.
Shout out.
I mean, just still gets Wii releases, or at least they still got Wii releases for a while. So, really surprised.
I will say for 2027, literally 10 years after the Switch was out, I am a little surprised. It's only more wild when you remember it is when Mega Man Dual Override comes out, it will have been 14 years after the PS4 launched.
Good God. You know, FIFA 12 came out on PS2.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, dude, all those were fucking wild. I think even I'm supposed to say I feel like even FIFA 13 was a PS2 game.
FIFA 13 was FIFA 13 as well. I think that was the last one actually.
But Capcom though, everything else they showed, fantastic, fantastic. Besides ending on Mega Man, I thought
That
Pragmata looked great, and having the demos awesome.
yeah,
I don't
that
know
was
why
on
it's
my
not
that was
on.
on my list. Yeah.
I don't know why that's not on consoles. I'm sure it will be on soon, but I was expecting it was like, oh, it's out now on Steam, and then by tomorrow morning it'll be on everything. It's still not, so I don't know
Nope.
what's up with the
I feel
Pragmata
like
demo.
this is the second time this year I've been cucked by demos. First with Raito and now Pragmata.
Very equal terms there.
Yeah. But so the other ones I had, so these were announced, but we finally got, well, one we got a date for. Lego Batman.
I didn't like
I'm
that
so
trailer.
excited for.
I'm
You
excited for
did?
that game. I think Lego Batman's a weird one. I'm sure I will love that game. I think the gameplay looks great. I think that game has some weird voice casting choices, or maybe just weird voice
Hmm.
direction. I think the mix or the weird amalgamation of like Jeffrey Wright's Gordon with like Dark Knight Joker and like the things it's pulling from but then not are very weird. Like this is gonna like it's so strange because it's like my thing is like why not just take from everything, because then it just feels like you're only taking from all the popular things, but then it makes us even more confused of like, okay, well, why is there nothing from Batman the Animated Series? And then we found out this week, oh, but there's going to be stuff for Batman Beyond, but we're not going to have anything for Kevin
Yeah.
Conroy or any of that stuff with it. So I love TT games. I know that Skywalker Saga is a good game that had a lot of weird problems, but all in all was still really, really fun. So it's like, I'm sure I will love it. I just thought that trailer, because it focused so much on the different characters, all not sounding great in my opinion. It was like, okay, because Batman's just tough. Like, it's tough to cast for Batman because it is one of
Yeah.
those things of just being like, there are so many characters that are all so iconic and have so many iconic voices that it's like, it's just hard to compare like an okay Joker when you know there's like 10 other great Jokers.
That's true. Now, speaking of, I wonder if you can tell where I'm going with this. Speaking of possibly weird casting choices, where do you think I'm going with this?
I'm trying to think because there's a couple different ones. I figured you would have mentioned David Harbour if we were there before. Are you talking about the Matthew
Nope.
McConaughey game?
Nope.
No, I don't know. Which one?
I'm talking about Lenny Kravitz being the Bond villain in
Oh
007 First
man,
Light.
I've got thoughts on that as a Lenny Kravitz man myself.
Okay, go.
I think he is one of the most unique Bond villains, at least aesthetically, we've ever seen, which is interesting.
Yeah,
The problem, Lenny Kravitz, not a man known for his acting.
I
And
could literally name only one thing I've seen him in as an
yeah,
actor.
so I think aesthetically and story wise, that's a super interesting villain, and it all relies on how does Lenny Kravitz actually do. That's what makes me nervous. But I
It's
was
yeah,
interested
it's
by
stunt
it.
casting. It's like
Yes.
this is like some top tier stunt casting, and I can't wait to see how it plays out.
I mean, listen, I'm all here for it. Like fucking like
Oh sure,
Bond First Light continues to look really really solid, and it's like that's the thing. James Bond as a series, whether it be movies or video games, somehow has the unique like ability to somehow give you amazing actors acting terribly and actors you've never expected to be good to knock it out of the park. So it's like it can really go either way.
it really can. But I'm excited either way.
Now, you could kind of call this stunt casting because I think it's not a surprise that they're in this game, but the execution of how it was shown, I was all fucking here for. Resident Evil 9 continues to look amazing, and that Leon
hmm
trailer was 10 out of 10.
I'm sorry, but 50-year-old man should not be still be rocking that emo fringe.
Listen, at least they
I
gave him
saw
the
that, I was like, oh
Porsche.
no.
They gave him the
He
Porsche, so he's got the old man
yeah,
car at least.
he's got considering like the hair, the Porsche, and the jacket. This man, I'm like, this man's going through a midlife crisis. Which, considering the shit he's been through, I don't blame him. But he is absolutely going through a midlife crisis.
I am also like all here for corny cheeseball lines. Leon still being there. Like clearly they took the notes of like they did not want to RE7 or RE8 Chris him. They were like, no, it
Yeah,
is still RE4 Leon being a fucking shit eating grin guy. Like the even the fucking cheesy line of like I think I'd like a second opinion on that.
yeah. It's. I mean, to me, it strikes me more as RE4 remake Leon and not original RE4 Leon.
Oh, for
Two very
sure.
different beasts
And
in my
also
eyes.
very distinctly not even RE6 Leon.
Definitely not. No. But I mean, I'm still excited for RE9.
I can't believe that's in 2 months, by the way. That's fucking insane.
That's wild. The last one I don't know about you, but the last one I had on my list, Tomb Raider's back
Twice!
twice. She's coming back twice, and um, I still don't know much about what's the Catalyst, is it called?
Yes.
That's a 2027
Catalyst
game,
is the new one, and then
and then we're
the
getting
remake of 1.
then we're getting the remake. Yeah, Legacy of Atlantis, I think it was called.
Hmm. What did you think of those
Yeah,
trailers?
I'm excited for that. Um, the Catalyst one I thought was fine. But I really liked how Legacy of Atlantis is shaping up. And you know me as someone who is very very mixed, and that's putting it kindly, about remake or game. Especially considering Tomb Raider 1 has already been remade. It's Tomb Raider Anniversary, but now we're getting a remake. It's kind of like how God, Tomb Raider by this point has had so many remakes and reboots. I mean, Anniversary, like, already, or no, Legend came out first. Legend was already kind of a reboot. That was the first reboot, and then 2013 Tomb Raider, that was a second reboot. So now we're like going back to like the remake reboot. Well, but by this point, you can't really do much. But we are still, at the same time, we are getting a new game as well. But it's I don't know. Tomb Raider is just a wild wild series to me.
Yep, I'm excited. I thought the reveal of 2 games and not one was interesting. My thing with Tomb Raider is like I have played so many of them, but then the ones I haven't are just so weird for me because I'm like I loved the reboot, and then I never played Rise or Shadow, but then like I've played a bunch of the older ones, but then I've missed a couple of weird ones, so I'm like I am interested in Tomb Raider as like someone who grew up with the series, but I
Yeah.
think the remake, for better or worse, is going to be one of those things of a lot's going to be relying on it in terms of how excited will people be now, which it kind of goes to show. But I think that's a good idea in the sense of the remake looks much better. They're like they've clearly put a lot more work into a remake of Tomb Raider 1 than you would have expected, to the point where
Hmm.
I'm just genuinely shocked how much Amazon seems to really be bankrolling this one, given how much they've been kind of burned on other games in the past. But it's like, hey, fucking, I'd rather Amazon try and bankroll new Tomb Raider versus the Embracer Group, because fucking yeah, budget
Yeah.
THQ big budget games don't normally go well. So I am
No, they do
cautiously
not.
optimistic for both. I thought the trailers were fine. The problem with it was I felt like Catalyst was just more forgettable as a CG only trailer that was then only saved
Yeah,
by how
that's what
much
it was.
the
That's what it
remake
was for
had.
me. Yeah,
Uh,
but as a fan of the Tomb Raider games, I'm excited.
Now, were you a Lara guy or a Laura guy?
Um, Honestly, I don't know.
It
Uh,
comes and goes.
Probably Laura. I'm probably Laura.
So I thought I was done, and then there was one that I forgot about. We're ending strong on another Kepler joint. Orbitals, surprise of the show. I thought anime It Takes Two and Space exclusive on Switch 2 I was all here for. I was
Yeah.
surprised how far along that looked. I'm such a sucker for that like retro anime style, and also co-op adventure games are such Spencer bait that I'm all here for it. Of like I looked at that team, I looked at that trailer, I did some research even afterwards, and I was like, man, this just looks really, really fun. And I'm like, does it need to be a Switch 2 exclusive? No, definitely not. But I'm like, for a system that has so
No.
few exclusives,
Come
I'm
on.
like, that's probably, if anything, going to help them though. So I'm like, I'm all here for it.
Yeah,
I
sure.
thought that showed off way better than it had any right to, and it won't be a system seller. But for someone like me who doesn't have a ton of Switch 2 exclusives to play, like, go for it. Like, I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
But
I think we missed that. I think we can. You say we're ending on a. We can't end without mentioning 3 games in particular that we did not mention yet so
I'm
far.
gonna guess Star Wars, and Divinity.
Uh, Close. I was gonna say Star Wars, Divinity, and whatever the hell that final announcement was.
We'll get the final announcement one out of the way, cause yeah, I
Sure.
don't like,
Well,
yeah,
I got nothing. I got nothing.
it's,
I get they. I was intrigued when when Jeff said from the makers of Apex Legends and Titanfall. I was like, oh, okay, okay. And then I was seeing it. I was like, okay. And then by the end, I was just like,
I think a
no.
lot of people wrongfully but justifiably looked at that last game and were like, okay, this is giving Apex Legends meets Concord vibes in all the wrong ways. And it's like, I get it. I think it could be interesting, but it's like the worst thing you can do for a game announcement is to just be like, great news, everyone. We're here to announce another multiplayer PvP shooter. And then that's it. The only saving grace that game had,
Especially for the final
yeah,
announcement.
like
Yeah.
the only saving grace I think that game had is the fact that it did not leak and that it is out next month is extremely interesting. The problem is it's
Yeah.
now gotten so much bad press by being the final game that it's going to be an uphill battle. And it's just so strange because it's like they're
Yeah,
so close to the finish line that I don't think it would have helped it, but it definitely wouldn't have hurt it as much as it being the last show if they had just even launched like an open beta today. Like had
true.
someone playing it after that they could be like, okay, it's out next month, but all your favorite creators have already played it and they're all putting up streams of it after the show tonight. Because if you remember, that's how they announced Apex Legends. Apex Legends kind of leaked,
Apex, yeah,
but when it was
exactly.
officially announced, everyone had gone out to this giant media event and played it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
So it's a bummer. I hate to shit on a new game, especially by a new team. And it's like, hey, I love the team who I know a bunch of people have left Respawn over the years. But it's like you even mentioned it. Like when you say from the makers of Apex Legends and Titanfall, I think a large amount of us have to be honest. We would like to see more Titanfall, and when this was just a lot more Apex Legends.
Yeah, yeah. I actually replayed Titanfall 2 a couple weeks ago.
I'm gonna make you very upset. I bought
Just
Titanfall 2. It was like pennied out at my Walmart like 6 years ago. I bought it for like a
no, I did
penny,
too,
and I still have not booted it up. I need to. I need to boot
dude.
it up.
That can
It's. I hear nothing but amazing stuff about it.
if you got if you got 5 hours to kill, play the campaign. You will not be
That's the worst
disappointed.
part. It's not even long. It's not even like I can say, "Oh, but it's so long though." It's like it's not. It's like I could I
No, you
could
could.
knock it out in a
This
weekend.
isn't Persona. You could blast weekend. You could knock it out in a single sitting.
I need to just do it, man. The
Uh,
backlog's just too
it
long. Too many long games. I need to bump up the short games.
bump up. Yes, definitely bump up the short games. But yeah, so that was that. I don't honestly. I don't have much to say about Divinity. Because I'm still not on the Larian bandwagon. But all I can say is I'm happy for the Larian fans. Maybe I'll join you
I
someday.
think, as
I'm just
someone
not there
who's
yet.
played Divinity Original Sin and ironically not Baldur's Gate 3, I am extremely interested in Divinity. I think them working on their own thing is awesome, but while I am hyped for that game, I love that team, and I thought that was a sick trailer. That is one of those trailers that's just a cool. This tells me nothing about the game, though.
Very
So
true.
it's like awesome trailer. I love a good orgy. I love a good puke scene. I love people getting their flesh burned off.
I love a good I love a good
Yeah,
burning.
like
Yeah,
listen, yeah,
Burning
bring the
Man.
kids to the Burning Man, the ending of the Wicker Man. Let's go for it. But like, in terms of how much can I say about it, it's like nothing. Unfortunately, I have
Yeah.
more to say about a very bad looking model of Yuna Akame running down the street for 5 seconds than I do this.
Oh, so do I. Which I just wanted to add quick before we talk about Star Wars really quick. Um, not seeing Revival at the Game Awards, to me it bumps up the my belief that they were not ready to show Revival when they did.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
They were not ready to reveal that game, but it is. But the fans, like, they kept pestering, so they were just like, "All right, here, damn." Literally the most here, damn announcement ever, at least from Atlas.
We do.
But yeah, so Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
no, you're
sorry.
good. The two Star Wars games, I will say, I was surprised we saw two Star Wars games, but then at the same time, I will say I was surprised that if I had to say, I actually preferred the trailer for Galactic Racer more than anything. That was a weird surprise, but obviously everyone's most excited for Fate of the Old Republic. I
Yep.
love KOTOR. I am still a big Star Wars fan, even though I know most of Star Wars is in a weird flux state right now. But I think that trailer,
Yeah.
much like Divinity, is like that's a sick announcement, especially because it didn't leak. But like until I see it, I'm gonna go off of the last thing that Casey Hudson did, and I can't help but not remember the fact that that dude also.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
No, remember he the last game Casey did was Anthem.
Oh my God, Anthem. That's right. Oh
So
no.
I am
Oh
I
my
am
God.
interested, and I'm way more.
Okay,
I'm
that's EA's fault. That was
no,
EA's fault, though.
100%,
I'm gonna say that's
100%,
I'm
and like I will say I'm curious at that the fact that I didn't know this, but they later on came out and they were saying that the plan is it is an action RPG. Now I don't expect it to be like a hack and slash game, like I'm not expecting like Force Awakens over here, but like
yeah.
I am surprised that they don't want to.
Don't expect classic
I
KOTOR
guess, but
either.
like I almost would have thought that you would think in a post Baldur's Gate 3 world, you would think actually maybe we should lean into this. So I'm kind of surprised
That's
they
true.
don't want to lean into classic KOTOR 3.
I mean, who knows? By this, they still might. I mean, I know that they said what they said, but I mean, all we got was a CG trailer with no gameplay, which, as we know by this point, CG trailers tell us as much about the game as they might as well say this game's going to come in a box or this game's going to come out. It tells us very little. It's just an announcement. It's an announcement. So we don't know what the game is like, but I guess we'll see when it comes out in maybe 2030. Even though Casey Hudson, no, it's not coming out in 2030.
Yeah, so
Did you see
no,
that?
I did, and I also thought that was funny, just kind of as a tiny clapback at Jason Schreier poo-pooing the game coming out soon. So I'm here for it. I
Yeah.
think the announcement is hype, but it is just one of those things where it's like, man, that is such a nothing burger trailer. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff to speculate for it, but like in terms of what was actually there, it's like, no, dude, I got nothing for you.
Yeah. By the way, that I was when I saw that like when I was working during the Game Awards, the one coworker who I'm trying to convince to play Expedition 33, he came up to me and was like, "Dude, Fate of the Old Republic."
That has been the funny thing of like, man, no matter how much time passes, even though those games are old as fuck, KOTOR fans are
Yeah.
fucking like cockroaches, dude. They just do not die. They just hide, and then they wait, and they're
You know,
like, oh, we got news? Okay.
I'll admit I haven't played KOTOR, but I own KOTOR 1 on Xbox. But this year, like I told you, I went through the Mass Effect trilogy. Um, and now with this announcement, I think I am going to go and play KOTOR pretty soon. Obviously, I have time because I have a couple years at least before Fate comes out. But yeah, but I definitely want to. I have more of an interest in KOTOR now, so
I'm
I'll probably hop on
I'm
that
gonna
soon.
call this right now. Fate of the Old Republic will still be out before the KOTOR 1 remake.
What's that?
I said I'm calling it now. I bet Fate of the Old Republic comes out before the KOTOR 1 remake.
Honestly, I'd be surprised if that game ever comes
They
out.
just, dude, that's the funny thing about them announcing this. Asper Media, the company who's working on it now, literally just commented that they're still working on it.
Oh, oh, you're. Oh, I think I did. I think I did see that. You're right.
Because the
Yeah.
funny thing is, they commented on it that they are still working on it, and that they want to do a remake of KOTOR 2. Which, by the way, KOTOR 2 needs a remake way more than KOTOR 1. So I'm so
Ooh.
morbidly curious to see what happens there, because that's a game that's like if you do it right, man, a remake of KOTOR 1 would fucking blow up.
I think that's all that we have for the Game
It
Awards.
is. We've got a couple questions that we can wrap up with. Then,
Well, actually, I
oh
have.
yeah,
There. Before, I don't. Well, do you want to do questions first? Because I have one more thing I wanted to ask.
no, yeah, bring it on.
Um. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll ask this first. So. I wanted to talk about like what are our personal game of the years. I know you said you don't have yours locked down quite yet,
I've got
but I
contenders.
was just curious. Like,
I've got a narrow list at least.
well, I guess to to be like, I guess, a bit more broad, what are some of the best games, or what are your favorite games you played this year?
Unfortunately, they are could not be all different. So like right now, I feel
I mean, mine are pretty different too.
yeah. So bearing in mind, I still have not played Silent Hill F, and what's another one that came out this year that I'm like still putting out. Silent Hill F is probably the only other big one that I'm like, oh, that has a really good chance of being up there. I just haven't started it yet. In terms of 2025
Hmm.
games, right now I'm in a three-way lead of Expedition 33, fucking Hyrule Warriors of all things, Age of Imprisonment, and
Wow,
Death Stranding 2.
Death
Yep.
Stranding too. I feel.
What about you?
Any others? Any others you want to shout out?
I've got some to shout out, but honestly, nothing that I'm like. Depending on the mood I'm in, I could honestly give any of those three my game of the year. Whereas everything else I've played, I have
Hmm.
liked, but I'm like, oh, but you're I'm not gonna give you it over one of these three.
What about any? What about games you played this year that didn't come out this year,
Silent Hill 2 Remake, I am
if any?
surprisingly
If any.
still really liking. Like, I am slowly but surely kind of going through that and so fucking loving. Um, Outside of that, I hadn't had too many with it, just because I've been trying to play newer stuff first more than anything. But
Hmm.
yeah, because I've still got a couple morbid curiosity ones I know I want to play. I do want to see how Borderlands 4 is. I do want to check out Silent Hill F. I am curious about Octopath Traveler. So there's still a couple of like minor ones, but
True.
nothing that I think would have a chance at stealing it. Oh, Hades 2. It's another one I still haven't played Hades 2 yet.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's a whole bunch out there that I really want to dive into.
Hmm.
What about you?
So in my case, well, I don't have to tell you my game of the year.
Frenchman 33, the video game.
No,
Aw,
Wuthering Waves.
damn it!
The
Aw,
for
man. Now they're never gonna give me the now they're never gonna give me the 10 free pulls.
But yeah, no, Expedition 33, that's my game of the year. And in terms of games that came out this year, so I have like, I kind of ranked all the games I played. Um, I try to do like the ones I at least completed like story. Well, I mean, I pretty much did story. These were pretty much all story games with the one exception being here, or actually two exceptions, but one of them is a game I've already played so many times. So I kind of ranked all the games I played, whether they were released this year, released before, or they were games I played recently. So I'll just go through them all really quick. So Expedition 33 at number as my top. Second, close second, which I want to play again because it also got a new free update with new content. The Altars.
Oh man, I gotta play that still too. I forgot
Um,
about that.
that's I love that game so much. It's phenomenal. Um, After that, Mass Effect 2, the best of the trilogy in my opinion. At least the one I enjoyed the most. Then Silent Hill F. I actually had Silent Hill F at number 3, but I've been debating like switching it and Mass Effect 2, and in the end, doing Lost in the Fog combat difficulty just killed it for me. So I was like, nope, I'm bumping you down. I'm sorry. I love everything else you do, but that go back to the drawing board. Then Soma. So basically that's my top 5 right there. Expedition 33, The Altars, Mass Effect 2, Silent Hill F, and then Soma. Otherwise, so considering the games that came out this year, Ball X Pit. Did you play that
No, not yet.
from Devolver? Honestly, it's extremely fun game. Uh, Extremely fun game. Really fun. Then I have Pirate Yakuza, which remember that?
Yeah, man, that was back when people liked RGG.
Yeah, I think that was what started their that was what knocked them off, and they've just been downhill ever since.
Majima.
I mean, I like Pirate Yakuza.
Yep.
It was a fun time. It was a fun time.
Everyone I know who has played Pirate Yakuza does not regret playing it, but it is definitely one of those things of like no one is walking away from that game being like, "Damn, man, that was one of the real ones."
This is yeah no. I've seen like mixed reactions, but even like the ones who loved it it is no this is no one's favorite like a dragon game. Um, then also Lost Records, which actually I forgot came out this year, but it came out on Game Pass last week, or yeah, I think last week, and really good. I've played most of Don't Nod's games, surprisingly. The only one I haven't played is the latest Life is Strange. That being, what was it called? It was
Oh, not
some. It was
not True
something.
Colors, was it?
Double Exposure.
Yeah,
No, that was the
yeah,
third one.
yeah.
Double Exposure was the fourth one. I really like True Colors. I think Lost Records beats it just by having a better soundtrack. Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed Lost Records overall. Then also Mafia: The Old Country. That's probably, if you don't count Silent Hill 2 remake, which came out on Xbox this year. My bottom game, which I still enjoyed, is Mafia: The Old Country.
Ooh, game I have not
Um,
touched that I'm sure I will love. I have not played. Well, actually, I have a couple more of that than I thought I would. Um,
ooh,
but I have to get to it, and because we're talking about Silent Hill 2 remake, I definitely want to check out Chronos. Chronos seems very up my alley.
oh, Chronos, yeah.
Chronos looks great. Also, I still need to play, and I've messed around with a bit, but I don't own them yet. But it's been really fun. Still need to play Pokemon ZA, and I still want to play
French Pokemon.
Metroid Prime 4.
No, I have no interest in Prime 4. I was bummed because I really like Metroid Prime 1 and 2. 3 I never clicked with for whatever reason, but 1
I'm
and 2 I really
surprised you're
like.
not interested. Was it just like the reviews just like left you feeling kind of whatever?
I saw the review. I saw the reviews and I saw the desert and what I heard about it, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Man, I don't know. Honestly, the reviews out of everything I ended up seeing like have just made me more excited for it. So I'm like, I'm ready for it. Also, the music,
Well,
everything I've heard of the music
well,
was great.
it was one review in particular, and that was from Skill Up, who did not recommend it, almost solely based on the desert. And hearing him describe it, I'm like, ugh.
Speaking of
Ugh.
Scale Up, I still can't believe
But
I am excited to play it, but it's so weird to me that I have no FOMO that I have not even started Ghost of Yotei.
no, well, I don't have a PS5, so I can't comment on that. Although I did play Ghost of Tsushima when that came out, because it was still on PS4. I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed what I played. So I still have my PS4. It's collected so much dust. So I could turn it on and play it if I wanted to. I kind of doubt I will though,
Well, I
unfortunately.
mean, you gotta bust it
Um,
out in 2027 to play Mega Man Dual Overdrive.
no, I'll use my Switch for that.
Switch One, you're gonna be rocking the Switch One Mega Man. It'll sound like a jet turbine taking off.
um, but yeah, just very quickly, I'll shout out the other games I played. Some of them were replays. Some, oh, I forgot. Well, no, it came out last year. But the other games I played this year that I really enjoyed, some were replays, some were not. Dishonored 1, that was a replay. Mass Effect 3, I liked. That was my second favorite Mass Effect. Stardew Valley, that's my comfort game. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which I finished this year. I finished it in January. Honestly, I'm still thinking about that game. It was so damn good. I'm kind of getting the itch to go back and maybe not play again like New Game Plus, but at least like keep going back to the areas and like finishing up all the puzzles and stuff that excuse me, that I missed. That game was so good.
Yeah, as a big
Um,
Machine Games fan, I am very excited to jump into Indiana Jones one day.
mm. After that, AI Nirvana Initiative. So the second Somnium Files game, Nirvana Initiative. I haven't played No Sleep for Kaname Date yet, but that's coming to PlayStation and Xbox in March or May. I think March. But it's coming out
Sooner than I would
in
have thought,
but it's coming.
honestly.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming out soon. So there's that. Titanfall 2, which I replayed. Borderlands 2, which I also replayed. Mass Effect 1. I thought about having as my bottom game, even though, like I said, I still enjoyed it. The story was really good. The story and writing were all top notch. It's just that gameplay was. I don't know if it's like. I don't know if it was like the legendary edition version, just kind of futzing with it, but boy, that it just like threw like the gameplay into like a worse light, I guess. Because maybe it was fine for 2007, but playing it in 2025, it's like whoa. Again, this was my first time. I still enjoyed it, but yeah, I still would replay it though. And then my bottom game, which again still enjoyed. I didn't dislike any of these games, but this year was the year I finally got into Final Fantasy 14 online, and it took me a while, but I finished the A Realm Reborn part. Good fucking god, how does that game have so many fans when they have to go through A Realm Reborn?
ARR is,
Like,
and what's funny is you're experiencing the trimmed down version of A Realm Reborn.
I know. 2.5, yeah, version 2.55, I think it was called.
You gotta be like, wait, there's a longer version of this?
There's an even long. It's like, no, instead of going back to the Waking Sands 300,000 times, you're going back just 299,000 times. It's like, why do? That game. It was a real. I mean, I enjoyed parts of it, but mostly because I was mostly playing with friends, and B, because it does have some actual like really hype moments in it. But good god, like 90% of A Realm Reborn is such a slog.
Really good music though.
I can't. Oh, the music is phenomenal. Although my friends have been sending me, they've been sending me songs from the expansions. So from mostly Shadowbringers, which they're on right now. So they are leagues ahead of me. Yeah. So all that to say, those are all the games I don't want to say it's all the games I played. Those are all the games I finished. Again, Ball X Pit, I haven't finished, but that's one of those games where it's like you kind of play forever. Same with Stardew Valley. I dipped my toes into Hollow Knight because Silksong, obviously, but honestly, Hollow Knight just didn't really click for me. Sadly. What about you? Have you played Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight is definitely up there for my Hall of Shame. I do want to jump into it. I will say though, because I've heard a lot of people who didn't love Hollow Knight but still gave Silksong a choice. Are you interested in checking out Silksong just because of how kind of faster it is compared to Hollow Knight 1?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe I just need like maybe it's like the thing like it was with turn-based RPGs. Like I still need to find that one Metroidvania that I really, really fully click with, because I've played like Metroidvanias in the past. I played Symphony of the Night. I played Bloodstained. Well, a bit of Bloodstained. I didn't. That's another game I didn't finish. But I don't know. I have yet to find a Metroidvania I really, really, really click with, and I feel like once I do that, the rest, the other Metroidvania games like Hollow Knight and Silksong will feel more open to me, or I'll be more open to.
Have you played? I've got a big one and I've got a tiny one to recommend. Did you ever play Metroid Dread?
No.
Any interest?
Actually, yes.
Because I think Metroid Dread is honestly up there as like one of my favorite Metroidvanias of all time, just because like that is such a surprisingly good one, especially because it's made by Mercury Steam and not made by Nintendo. although Nintendo hasn't really touched Metroid proper in so many years now, it's really like not one of them. The other one on a much smaller scale, and this thing's on like every system known to man. There's a really, really good game called Iconoclast, which is
Oh, I've heard of
super
that. Yeah.
cheap, great music. It was like one of those like super small indie dev team Metroidvanias. Of if you want like just a like I know this is gonna be good with as cheap of a entry fee as possible. Iconoclast is a great one to play.
Gotcha. So yeah, so Hollow Knight, that was one. RoboCop, the RoboCop game from
I gotta get.
no 2020, no not last year, it was 2023,
It
I think.
is, yeah, it was
Rogue
2 years ago, but then Unfinished Business came out this year.
Unfinished. Okay, yeah, that's right. Um, that one I played once just to try it out. I enjoyed it. I'll probably keep playing it. One I definitely want to keep playing. Uh, that I started was Disco Elysium as well. That one I just need. That's one of those games I just need to be in the right headspace for. Like, I can't imagine playing the original version because I'm playing the Final Cut.
Oh god, I know,
But I
no
can't
voice
imagine playing the
acting.
original version and doing just nothing but writing. Yeah, no voice acting, just all readings. Like, I could not have done that. I could not have handled this game. Um, and I and I'll give one more shout out because I still haven't finished it. It's still I'm still mid game. Ace Attorney 5, and that is like literally that is keeping me not finishing Ace Attorney 5 is keeping me from playing Investigations and then the Great Ace Attorney, which I hear is which I hear nothing but amazing things
Yeah,
for.
I still haven't picked up the Great Ace Attorney ones for it. Those two I've been literally dying to play since the 3DS.
Hmm.
Um,
So yeah, that's all my games. That's my year in gaming.
Man, it's just been. I mean, not that we've had a bad year in games for a while, but I after how good 2024 was, it's been amazing how somehow this year's even topped it.
I mean, to me, 2024 felt like a bit of a letdown, a bit. But I say that when looking at how, to me, I think 2023 was like the best year in gaming for the 2020s so far. And 2024 just in comparison, um, it just felt smaller. But now 2025, I think has been truly excellent. Um, yeah, it's like how music was like 2024 was such a good year for music, like unbelievably good. And now 2025 has just been like, by comparison, it's just been like whatever.
No, I get that. Here we go. I've got these all pulled up here. I've got a couple of questions. Then we're gonna burn through those. So believe it or not, at
Okay.
3:15 as we're recording this, then when we're done
Oh my
recording,
fucking god.
then I can finally eat my first meal of the day. Cause man, I am fucking hungry.
Me too. Me too.
First question comes from more of a sentence, but I also asked for takeaways as well.
Hmm.
Lookman, who says the game awards this year was pretty boring for me. Handful of games that were cool for the most part, but it was a bit of a 3 hour slog for the most part. Happy about the 33 Expedition 33 sweep though, because I was gonna say if you
Good.
because there are people who are like, oh, I didn't like the Game Awards because Expedition 33 won. Those opinions I don't like. If
Yeah.
you're someone who's like, oh, thank God Expedition 33 won, but I didn't like the show, I'm like, that's fine. No worries. Then I totally get it. Because it's like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the Game Awards is like a 4 hour long commercial. So I do completely
It is.
understand it.
I mean, I'm surprised there wasn't as many. There didn't seem to be as much like advertising, or it didn't like Jeff kind of kept his star fucking to a minimum, at least compared to previous years. But then I remembered, oh wait, he transitioned to pick fucking.
Man, officially sanctioned by Disney though. Disney gave the okay on the pig fucking joke, so.
Disney okaying Jeff Keighley to fucking
I
make
mean,
piggy.
dude, the Muppets are wild
Boy,
though.
that's
Like, remember,
Oh yeah, that song was great though.
Fozzie Bear has a human girlfriend, so you gotta imagine if
Fonzie Fonzie Bear's the man.
fucking exists in the world of the Muppets. Just not Sesame Street. Don't take it to the streets, please.
No, 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 no.
Rise Kuchikawa says, still waiting on some juicy Persona 6 news. I will.
Reset?
Yeah, Reset was answering. I will say, was I surprised there was no P6? No. But honestly, I feel like if we were going to get anything from Atlas, I would have at least sought maybe more Persona 4 before giving Jeff P6. P6 at the Game Awards would be insane, more on a, I don't know how Jeff bribed them to make that happen.
Guys, I don't think some of these people watch the show. We had P6. It was in controlled
That's true.
resonance.
Yeah. that was your P6. That's why Remedy's the goats, man.
We had P6. It was right there.
Remedy had to give us P6 before Atlas could.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine a Persona game written by Sam Lake?
I mean, I'm just thinking about the music alone. The music would be fucking killer.
Oh my god, Old Gods of Asgard doing Persona music.
And then there's that's what they have to take on tour for the next 10 years. It's just Persona 6 dance numbers.
Do you think they would make a dance a Persona dance like they did for Herald of Darkness?
No, 100%. It'd be mandatory.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Next question. This one's from YouTube. We've got a lot of people were surprised that Atlas didn't show up at the Game Awards, but I wasn't really, because I expected them to save more of their announcements like Persona 6 for the anniversary next year. My question is, when do you expect them to start talking? The January concert, Summer Game Fest, Nintendo Direct? This one I wanted to plug by you because we've talked about this a little bit. I think an announcement at the LA concert next month is possible, but I would not even say I would not say probable. Like, don't go into it expecting. I genuinely think we're probably going to have an announcement of a Japanese-based thing for the announcement that then we get revealed there. My gut, like, I don't know. Even though like they've done stuff with Nintendo, Sony, and even Microsoft at this point, I don't know. I almost am sort of leaning at this point that they want to just do this on their own as opposed to just give it to one console show, you know? But like I don't know, where else do you think you might see it?
Well, like I said, January concert, slim chance. At being optimistic, it would be if they did have something there, it would be during the final show. But otherwise, yeah, slim chance. Summer Game Fest, I can see it. Nintendo Direct, I don't know, because didn't they is their marketing deal with Xbox still on, or did that expire?
So far there are no active marketing deals that Xbox has with Atlas, with the exception of P4R coming to Game Pass.
That's right. Okay. Well, because I want to say like maybe I might not rule out an announcement on an Xbox showcase. Honestly, I see more. I think it's more likely there than a Nintendo Direct. But as for now, I would say the soonest we'll most likely get an announcement. I mean, it's tough because the thing with like directs, with like Nintendo Directs and even Xbox showcases, like they could be scheduled like any day. It could happen any day. Whereas something like Summer Game Fest, like we know when that is. So I would be the most. So like, I think I'm more optimistic for Summer Game Fest, but yeah, I guess we'll see.
See, now it'll just be like, oh yeah, that developer direct. Yeah, we're just gonna show more P4 there. Why not? Fuck it.
I mean, maybe. What's the do we know when the Xbox Direct is?
I think they dated it. I just know it's January. I don't think we have an exact firm date though. We just know it's next month.
Is it? Is it around the time of the concert by chance?
I'm pulling it up right now. Let me see. Next Developer Direct Xbox. Is not dated. We only know confirmed for January, so no hard date yet.
Okay. So there is
There
a
is a
chance it could
chance.
drop around the
There is a
concert.
chance. This would be very funny.
So I guess technically we could get something. So I guess technically we could get something at the January concert.
That'd be so funny if like it was announced like the day before the concert as the developer direct, and then they do something at the concert. It would be fucking so crazy.
Oh, it'd be so hilarious. It'd be so hilarious.
Let's see, and then I'll wrap up on this last question. I really like this one. This one's by Suma. Said, now that we know P4R is outsourced by Tosei, which I'll talk about a little bit because it's kind of but not actually announced. Are you more optimistic about hearing P6 anytime soon? How would you want them to reveal it? I would prefer that they have their own event and announce it that way rather than announce it at Jeff's show, which is kind of lame in my opinion. So the Tosei news came out over the last couple of weeks that Tosei has worked with Atlas in the past for other games. Like I know they've worked with them through various ports or even working on them with like stuff like other different games that they've helped out on over the years.
Didn't they help? Didn't they help port Reload to Switch too?
Yeah, so they've helped with that as well. But what was funny about it was outside of working with P3R, in a financial statement from Tosei, they revealed that Square Enix and Atlas were their biggest clients of the year. And what people have been taking away from that, because there have been basically like just people talking about it, like I know like Nate the Hate even like a couple days ago commented on it, has been like, oh, Tosei is the primary developer, which I had not heard, but I would 100% believe, because with something like P4R, even though it kind of sounds silly to not do that internally like they did with P3, I think especially having P4 more outsourced than P3 makes a lot of sense, just because P3 sort of set up the formula for that remake. So I'm a huge Tosei fan. I love a lot of the work that they do, whether it be ports or original games, even remakes. So like they do great work. I think they would be totally fine to do the primary development on Persona 3 Revival, but I agree with you in terms of the announcement being I would prefer their own show rather than tied to another one. But I wanted to kind of ask you, like, how do you feel about the Tosei thing? If you have any opinions on them as a developer?
I don't, because I'm not really familiar with Tosei or their work, really.
Tosei is one of those funny companies that I would recommend everybody out there just look up games they developed, because they have developed like they've been a basically like a secret workhorse for like 35 plus years now. Like they do so many games and they go uncredited like in terms of being like the main developer on so many. It's so funny of like they've been around for so long that it's a little weird to me that they're not more well known.
Oh, they make Chrono Trigger?
No, they've done well. They've worked on like Chrono Trigger and stuff, but like
Okay.
they've done like so many.
I'm looking up their games and like, wow, they've like, so I can't tell like what games they like specifically developed, but like, holy crap, they worked on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they get around. They are fucking the definition of a workhorse team.
Hell yeah, I respect it.
But yeah, everybody, thank you for the questions. And Jeff, thank you for the show. It did not make me hate my life or existence. I was happy to enjoy it and consume trailers as I should. Liam, thank you for also joining me this week. Do you have anything either in the pipeline, or would you like to announce your work in an upcoming giant Persona voice actor collab cover song coming up soon? Anything you want to reveal here?
I already did like a small like cover of the voice actor cover of Full Moon Full Life. It was just a brief snippet of it. But so I'm still so last episode I mentioned that I worked on an Ace Attorney fan project where it was an album where we recorded original music, and we still have pre-orders open for it. It's the Gaviners group, Guilty as Charged. I'm pretty sure I gave you a link last time. It's the same link. We're still doing pre-orders for we're last 2 weeks. They end on the 28th, I believe. So please check that out if you haven't, and please consider pre-ordering. Other than that, so funny thing, I don't know if you saw this, but I tweeted, for every award Expedition 33 wins, I'll do a cover.
Oh no.
I am fucked. That's 9 covers I gotta do.
That's just a mini. That's like a mini. That's a mini EP at this point.
That's an album. Well, if you're counting like number wise, it's about album length. But yeah. So I'm gonna be doing 9 covers. I didn't say they'd all be Expedition 33 covers, but right now, 5. I have 6 out of 9 planned. I think the first one I'll do tomorrow. I'll work on tomorrow. But yeah, so far I have 6 songs in mind. Only 5 of them, 4 of them are Expedition 33. So I still need 3 more songs. God help me.
Wow, bless you. If you want to have a heartbreaking one, you can bust out the piano. You can make a verso song be one of them.
I'm not a pianist, unfortunately.
No pianist detected.
I'm even considering doing like a vocal cover.
Whoa.
That's how much I'm like scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to figure out like I'm grasping for I'm struggling. But yeah, I'll probably be working on that over the next couple weeks, months, year.
Just reach out to Flute Guy. Let him know. But yeah, Flute Guy, you want to collab? I gotta get some covers done.
Yeah. By the way, that one flute you played during the medley, I like the pipe to my sink back. It's still leaking.
The fucking PVC fucking flute.
PVC flute. Bro switched more flutes in like a 4-minute medley than most Persona fans go outside.
Yeah, he's his own percussion section just with flutes.
Shout out to Flute Guy. Yes. We love you.
Shout out, by the way, everybody. Again, thank you for listening to an extra meaty, long episode. Hopefully makes up for me being sick last week. But with the news being so quiet, and especially with so much end of the year talk going on, unsurprisingly, there will be no Atlas Awards this year. It'd be a very sad award show. But I'm probably gonna try and whip up a.
They'd all go to Expedition 33. By the way,
the Atlas Award for best Shin Megami Tensei game goes to Ben Starr, Expedition 33. Well, I didn't even know he worked on that one. I do have a interview hopefully lined up for the end of the year, but I'm also gonna try and do a end of year radio show, just because fucking like we mentioned this year, especially great games, but also amazing music from so many games, like big and small. So hopefully gonna try and get both of those out before the end of the year, but also, man, Christmas is sneaking up on us like fucking Jason Momoa on the red carpet right now. But yeah, thank you again to everybody. If you enjoyed the show, do not forget you can support us directly at patreon.com/SMTN. That's patreon.com/SMTN. $1 and up will get you the show early. $5 and up gets you the shout out at the end of every show, like all of our amazing executive producers like Aaron McNamara, Twist, John Massey, Jesus Coon, Crazy Sloth, Michael Wilson, Budweiser Tall Cans, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Renren, Winnie, Jugingis, Gorosero, Solaire, Stephen Yip, and Patrick Dissert all have. So thank you all so much. Giveaway post was going to be live last time, and then I got horrifically sick and did not touch any computer for anything. So giveaway post for Metaphor stuff will be going live probably by the time you see this for everybody, but that'll be on the Patreon as an exclusive. And have a good holidays. I will probably, most likely, hopefully see you all before Christmas, but just in case I don't, have a good Christmas, Kwanzaa, all the Hanukkahs, and don't forget about Canadian Boxing Day. Can't ever forget about Canadian Boxing Day. So now I've got to go eat.
Tomorrow
Yes,
comes.
tomorrow comes. Christmas comes. Expedition 34 will not come because I doubt that's what it'll be called. But you know
No.
what? I'm still waiting on. Oh, I forgot. What's the nude one? What's that one numbered? Thank you.
60.
We still need Expedition 60. Don't forget, Sandfall. You owe us that one. We need. If there was ever one we needed, it's Expedition 60. So goodbye, everybody.
Listen, we like our nude beaches.
I mean, listen. Leave as little to the imagination as possible is the slogan of that game. All right.
Bare naked muscle.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good night.